Hey, Mariah, I think you should.
Please have a seat. Leave the seat in the middle for the coach.
Get me in the back.
Get me in the back.
Put me in the back.
Let me have the where you're sitting, Dakota. I think it's me. I think. Because he said leave the chair in the middle for the coach. So I'm thinking that I don't know. Mr. David, which chair did you say?
Seat in the middle.
Where Five is sitting or behind her? The stool?
On the table.
I need that seat.
Okay, so that means you're answering the question.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know, and I never answered that. And I never. Like, what do you mean? It's freezing. Are these actually? Oh, are you sure?
Huh? Oh, give.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you want me to just introduce? Like, I'll put the papers down. Obviously. Welcome to the experience. And then, do you want me to pass to him or just start asking questions? No. Oh, okay. Okay. Where do you want me to look to start? At the team? Okay.
And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NSMT Experience. I'm your host, Charlie Nyber, and we're excited to have you today as we go through the region's high school basketball teams and cover the expectations for the season and how that team is going to achieve those goals this season. With me, I have
Dwight Vick with Victory Life, also NSMT team.
Coach. Gonna jump right into it. How was the offseason, and what goals do you have for this team this year?
The offseason was phenomenal. These young ladies are surrounding me, are hard workers, very, very coachable young ladies, which makes it easy for a coach to start the season. Fall league went great. I have a lot of athletic talent, academic talent. All these young ladies are going places I wish I could go when I was their age. But the beginning of the season's been great.
Awesome. You guys had undefeated region play last year. You know, very successful year. How do you guys get back to the was it the region final last year? And
You get semifinal.
sorry about that. Region semifinal. How do you guys get back to that point and get over the hump this year?
Well, we have a very fast team and extremely fast, and we're defensively sound. And our concentration is to be defensively sound and to win games. And we get there by playing solid defense and being aggressive the whole way there. From my perspective, as a first-year coach with these young ladies, I'm learning them the same way they're learning their new coach. But they're hungry to get back to that and get further there. Anything I'm missing, ladies? No, don't act shy.
Coach and ladies, I'm Dwight Vick again. I want to get into the expectations. Last year, 20 games, regional semifinal. You are at a school, Hayfield, known for championships. You know, the football team, Coach Carlos Poindexter is a friend of mine. They had a record season, back-to-back championships with a legendary team. How do y'all ladies and your team, Coach, embrace those expectations?
We embrace those expectations as normal activity for our team. We want to get to the same goals. I know Carlos. We've spoken quite a bit myself. I'm trying to get to his level. I want to get those 2, maybe 3 states. I want to get these young ladies to the states. And we can get there. It's not going to be an easy path, but it's a path we can handle, and that's our desire. We want to beat the last record, and we want to be known for that. We want to be known for trying to get the championships. Ladies, don't leave me out here by myself. No? All right.
Well, you know what? I'm actually want to hear from ladies. Can we pass the mic around and hear from you? Can you just say your name and position and what year you are with the team?
I'm Alexis Cox, 2026 grad, and my position's point guard.
I'm Eva Phillips. I'm also 2026 grad, and I'm a shooting guard.
I'm Charlotte Winkleman. I'm 2028 grad, and I'm a forward.
Kira Senko, 2027 point guard.
I'm Mariah Overton. I'm a point guard, and I'm class of 2027.
I'm Dakota Dove, class of 2028, and I'm a forward.
My name's Kaylinda Lee. I'm class of 2026, and I'm a forward.
My name's Sora Watson. I'm class of 2026, and I'm a guard.
Don't hurt nobody.
I'm Kamara. I'm a guard, and I'm a 2026 grad.
I'm Maddie Davis. I'm a 2026 grad, and I'm a forward.
I'm Marcella Boite. I'm class of 2027, and I'm a forward.
Now, did I hear Overton back there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know the Overtons very well. I know Jeff and Daryl a long time. To my point guards and the guards, I want, this is for y'all. What kind of offense should we expect to see this season? Because, the point guards and the 2 guards, especially the point guards, are known as the quarterback of the team. You initiate the offense. You have to be an extension of the coach on the court, and you have to make sure you set the tempo no matter what team you play. So talk about how you handle those expectations as the lead guard.
Wait, I'm sorry, how we run our offense?
Yeah, how do you initiate your offense? What are the expectations when you're running the offense? Are you guys up tempo? Are you a half court team? Is it get it and go, fast break offense? What kind of style of play should we expect to see, and how do you impact that?
It usually depends on the situation, but mostly because we're a team mostly full of guards, it's usually very fast paced, and fast breaks, we usually get a lot of those. And then on half court offense, it's less robotic because we all can play. So we just, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like Alexis said, we're a very fast-paced, up-tempo team, and we really good when it comes to transition offense. And half court, we do try to play fast-paced, and like Alexis said, we are a guard-focused team, so everybody can play. So it's less robotic and kind of just go with the flow and score. So
yeah, no doubt.
There's not a lot of feeding the post, if that's not a lot of that.
You said not a lot, right?
Mm-mm.
But you know what? Guards usually like that. Usually I want to, open court. Now, who's the best shooter on the team?
Eva.
Really? Really? Everybody pointed to you. Is it a guarantee? You got the green light?
I do have the green light. They actually get mad when I don't shoot, so.
Yeah, that's a good honor to have. How are practices? Like, when I used to coach and play both football and basketball, I feel like games are won in practice. Do you feel like you ladies have, intense practices? Do you feel like you got, even though I can tell you are close, do y'all get after it?
Yeah, we definitely get after it because our coach has high expectations for us. So every practice we go hard and we compete against each other to make ourselves better for the games.
To kind of go off that practice question, the season's still young, but the expectations are high. And you guys have been there. And as Coach mentioned, totally believes you guys are a state tournament qualifying team. This one's kind of for the seniors or just returning players. Each team has their own feel, but what about this team, makes them unique in compared to years past?
I feel like all throughout our season we've had such a close-knit team. But this year we have just like everyone's so supportive of each other, which I think helps a lot when getting through the season because it can be tough. So just having great teammates is definitely good.
And it sounds like on offense, you guys are prioritizing speed and fast pace, and everyone can pretty much handle the ball and go ISO if they need to. Everybody kind of shook their head there. But what about on the opposite side when the other team has the ball? What are you guys focusing on defensively, Coach? Feel free to ask players and chime in.
All of you all can chime in. Defensively, we are sound, and I mean all 11 of these ladies behind me, all 11 are a problem if you have the ball in your hand. I'm extremely confident with our defense. So when they were speaking about the speed and we got great shooters, and we have more than one shooter. We got great shooters, and she does have the green light. Offensively, I'm not worried about that. I don't necessarily even have to run set plays, if I'm being totally honest. These ladies are talented enough to get it. We're getting it off that defense as well, and that's our priority. So all 11 of these ladies, I'm proud of each and every one of them. In that regard, our defense is solid.
Absolutely. Question for the players. Any player or multiple players can answer this question. We are in the DMV, D.C., Maryland, Northern Virginia. It has been known for decades. This is the basketball mecca. But in your district, in your region, are there some teams that you look at on your phone when you're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a big crowd. This is going to be a game I want to lock in. I know y'all play hard against everybody, but is there a game or two on your schedule you're like, I cannot wait. This is my senior year. I got to get a win, or we've been dominating them. It's a rivalry. Just whatever game it is.
Well,
Go, you can say it.
Well, for our district, the only game that we have competition in is Edison, but I don't think
Coach.
think this year we're gonna have competition. Yeah, I'm just
Definitely.
saying.
Edison has been our biggest rival for forever. Yeah. And then in regions, I'd say South County.
Yeah. What makes when you talk about South County, what is it about South County?
Just because we know that they're like a competitive team, and it's just like a fun game to play in.
Yeah. Anybody else?
And I'm going to run in on that as well. We're not looking past anybody in this district, anybody. We do know that Edison is well coached. We know over there they're not playing. We're not playing either. But there's other teams that, we're not going to look past. So we're not stepping out there as if we're saying we're it, like we're those girls, but kind of we are. we're trying to win it.
Yeah, I get it, and I like it. To the players, again, I dapped Coach up before he came in. He seems like a real good guy, but I played and I've coached, and I know coaches have personalities for game day, practice, and media day. Talk about how Coach is. How does he push you? How does he show love? How does he challenge you as a player?
During practices, we might stress him a little bit because he's just very stressed because sometimes we don't understand, but he loves us overall, and he's very nice to us.
You sure?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. And one last question, and for the players or coach. As I mentioned, this area is rich with female and male basketball talent. I mean, in Prince William, you got OP, you got Gainesville, your district, your region. Any players being interest with schools looking to play after high school? Any college interest or even offers?
I have a few, but yeah, I'm just looking for what my next step is for the future.
Yeah.
And then I took the soccer route because that's what I've been playing since while I was growing up, and I committed to VCU for that.
That's a great school.
Not basketball.
That's fine. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else? Well, we'll definitely be watching this season. Coach, we appreciate you coming out, and your team, we wish you well, healthy, and great season. And for everybody, I hope you guys, ladies, achieve your goals and athletically and academically. We appreciate y'all joining the NSMT experience. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Now we are joined with the Woodson varsity girls basketball team. Coach, would you like to introduce yourself and the players?
Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Coach Lee. This is my senior Isabel Conklin, my senior Annette Tennant, my senior Michaela Childs. This is my senior and my goofball Talise Alvarez, aka Tazzy. And then this is the youngest. This is Sienna Ang, and she's a sophomore.
Okay. All right. So no freshman or junior today?
No.
All
Nope.
right.
Just my returners. These are all my returners from last year.
Awesome. All right. It's good to know. So I know the season's young, but obviously you guys are all returning, as Coach just mentioned. What about this team feels different than one in the years past? And this is for both coaches and players. Feel free to chime in, whoever.
Yeah, I'll say. I would say just different than other years. We have a really strong post game, I would say, this year. Just compared to other teams like in our district and in the area, we're just really strong in that aspect of our game.
Are there anything or things offensively or defensively that you guys are prioritizing to start the season, whether that's to improve on or just get better at, any aspects specifically?
Our offensive game. This is a season for us of rebuilding. Over the years, we've had usually older players. We just graduated 6 seniors last year, so this is definitely a rebuild for us. So we're just locking in on the details of the offensive side.
So, Coach, you said you just graduated 6 seniors. Are these the only 4 seniors now, or are you?
We did pick up 1 senior this year, but these are my main returners. Yep.
Okay, so I guess this could go for all you guys, mainly the seniors. But how important is it for you guys now to kind of step into that leadership role as a senior, and for the younger class, to eventually step into your shoes? Is there anything specifically that you guys are trying to pass down to them or teach throughout the locker room, whether that's on the court, off the court?
Yeah, I think it's important just to, show everyone, the ways around, especially being a varsity player, because most of our team has not had that same level of experience. So I think just, intensity and, learning plays and stuff, I think is different. So just, intensity on the court.
Dwight Vick with Victory Life. Good morning, ladies and Coach. Coach, this question is for you. I often feel, just as a former player myself, the championships, the games are won in the offseason, fall and summer league. I know VHSL has really changed some things which you can do, but you still have the offseason and the preseason. What are some things you've done as far as your strength and conditioning program? I don't even know if y'all watch film, but what are some things y'all have done to make sure you go into the season prepared?
So we're heavy on preseason, and we play in the fall league in the beginning, which is really, really important. But overall, the biggest thing for me personally is to continue to make connections with the girls. This generation is very different. You don't have the straight up just basketball players all the time. You have a lot of athletes that play multiple sports. So it's finding that niche to connect with them in different ways that continues to elevate their game, whether that is, hey, we're having preseason workouts, or we're doing the fall leagues, or hey, there's this game on, I need you guys to watch basketball, you know what I mean, or come out to training sessions. So different aspects to try to connect with the kids so that they're continuing to build on their game.
Coach, talk a little bit about your career. You look like you can still hoop. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I can boogie a little bit. I still got a little bit in me.
You talk a little bit about where you played and where your love for basketball and sports came from?
So I was born in D.C. I was raised out here in Northern Virginia. I went to West Springfield High School. I played all 4 years. Started my career off with Carol Lawson. And then I ended up graduating. I went through the big-time injuries, the ACL tears, and that was back then. I'm old, so it was back then when it just started. So it was a new transition, but I still was able to go Division II, played a year or two, and then transferred and finished up at Old Dominion University. But then there, I got also picked up to play semi-pro in the States. So I played a couple years semi-pro in the States. Then I married my husband, who played overseas. So we are the real love in basketball. Yeah. And now I have a youngin that now plays.
Real level, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you were being modest. Your coach was a baller. Ladies, talk about her impact on y'all so far. I know it's early in the season and young in the season, but what are you learning so far? What are the expectations for this program?
Personally, I think she just pushes me a lot to be the best of myself and like really pushes me on the court and off the court. It doesn't really matter what like happens. She's always there for us and just pushes us to be our best.
Yeah. Now, what kind of practices? Offense, defense. Let's talk about scheme. When we turn on NFHS, if I come to watch y'all play live, what kind of team should we expect to see? Are you guys a pressing team? Do you get up and down the court? Are you more of a half-court set team? What kind of offense and defense do you particularly run?
Coach Lee says that all the time. She's like, defense wins championships, so that's what we spend a lot of our time working on. I mean, you'll see us in a full court press or like a 13, I would say we always try and bring like 100% defense intensity.
Who's the best defender?
On the opposite side of the ball, who's the best shooter? Has Coach given you the green light?
I give everybody a green light. It's just where the green light is. That's the difference.
Of course. Sorry. Yeah, if you got a question, sorry.
Scheduling wise, this year, I feel like in the DMV, I moved up here 25 years ago, and I'm from the 757 Hardwood area, and it's a great sports-rich area. But moving here 25 years ago, I quickly realized why everybody talks about the DMV all across the country. It is insane the amount of games and talent. When you look at your schedule this year, talk about, to the players and coach, your schedule. Not so much teams you're looking forward to right now, but just how will the schedule challenge you to prepare to make a run at a championship? Is there some teams that you know is going to push you? Yeah.
Definitely Robinson is gonna have us it's gonna be a hard game. Especially last year, they lost a lot of their good players. And so we lost a couple good ones too. That's probably just gonna be our hardest game, I think. We've had some good scrimmages so far. But yeah, a lot of film we're watching, we're preparing with that. We're preparing, we're getting ready.
I definitely think our season is starting off tough than past seasons that we've had. I think we're going right into it, which is good for us. I like to get the hard out early so you can make the corrections, because it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So that's our biggest thing, is locking in all these tough games, trying to get through it, learning the mistakes, and then being able to elevate at the end of the season.
Coach, to build off that, you said the season started. You guys are only 2 games in, right?
Yes.
What have you seen out of your team that you've liked in those first 2 games, and then what would you like to see your team improve on?
Well, that's technically a locker room conversation, but I will say one thing, that they're strong. They don't stop playing. They are going to give you 1,000%. They're going to play very, very hard. It's just the learning curves, again, because we have only 5 returners who are used to the varsity level, and the rest of the team is literally JV kids jumping up to varsity. It's a jump, and I think a lot of teams, parents, kids don't realize how big of a jump it is from JV to varsity. Just because you think about it, JV is usually just freshmen and sophomores, whereas varsity, you're going 9 to 12, so you're looking at the dynamics of different sizes, capabilities, intensities. So it's just that part is the biggest thing. It's not that we can't do it. It's just getting those girls on board to understand the next level, you know what I mean, and locking into that size.
Absolutely. Let's have a fun question. Coach mentioned this generation is different. I don't think that was a slide. I agree. I have kids your age, and when you talk about this generation, TikTok, social media is a big aspect. Who is the best TikToker? Who is the most active on TikTok? Everyone pointed at you. Can you speak on? I mean, you love social media. What's that about?
Well, it's not really just social media. I just love to boogie. I love to dance. Like in the practice, you'll just see me.
She will
boogieing. So
in the best times and the times when you're trying to lock in, she will be tap dancing in the back somewhere. Yes.
I think that's great. I think you got to enjoy what you do, because it's a grind, and there's a lot of expectations on this program. And when you're a student athlete, you're doing what a lot of people can't do. And with that being said, Coach, how do you balance that? Because as someone like myself who works with youth, and I'm out here in the DMV helping kids, they deal with a lot more stuff. How do you make sure they balance expectations between being a young lady, a student athlete, as well as enjoying themselves and also competing at a high level?
No, for sure. I think for one, being a female coach for girls is really, really important because you want to teach them those next levels of life. It's more than just the game. For me, basketball is a vehicle of life. It allows you the disciplines. It allows you the learning lessons that can happen, but then it allows you to go to different levels too if you continue to play this game and connect in all different ways. But for me, it's really, really big that my girls not only, excel in the game of basketball, but they also excel just as young ladies, that they're prepared for life off the court. I'm very open with them, so when they have conversations or they're confused or Lord, we've had great locker room talks. I want to be there for them because, again, this generation is different, and a lot of them are just learning through social medias. A lot of them don't have conversations with families at home, so I want to make sure that I'm that outlet piece for them to continue to grow as young ladies, and then just to be here, help them navigate.
Now, this one's for the players. Can you guys kind of just speak about what your coach just said? And I know Dwight already mentioned just how much of a mentor she is off the court, but can you kind of expand on that and just how she has, kind of embraced that figure in your guys' lives outside of on the actual basketball court?
Yeah, she's definitely personally a huge role model for me. She's pushed me to believe in myself as a player. She just tries to make me the best that I can, even if I don't know that I can do it. She knows, and that's just really great to have.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Speaking on again what she said about how important it is to have a female coach, I'd say for me personally, she's such a big female role model in my life, and someone who I want to model my own moral values and personal beliefs, and I find areas in my other life where I see some of the values I've learned from basketball bleeding over, and so it's just been a really big part of my experience through high school.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
And I think it just translates to our team. I feel like we have a very close team. I think it's one of the closest teams at our school and probably in the area. So I think it all just starts with coach and trickles down to all of us.
Yeah, I love that. And, you heard me talking to Coach about her career. I did a little research. So she's had a great career, even though she had a few setbacks. She still had a great career, which very few people have. Anybody on this roster right now looking to maybe after this season's over, when you graduate or next year, going to play college ball, whatever level, anybody aspiring to that or looking to do that?
Yeah, I'm actually committed to play Mary Washington. So
Mary Washington. Their boys team is really good right now. I know a female player, their girls, Cheyenne, who played at Patriot. So that's a great program. Can I ask why you chose Mary Washington?
Yeah, no, I just think it's a really great school. I love the community. I personally like a lot of a smaller school, and I love the vibe that it has there. They also have great facilities, great resources that I can have, and just their program is really great.
Yeah, it's a great school, and you're right about the facilities and the players there. Anybody, when they're done playing, want to coach? No one wants to coach?
We've had, I don't want to coach, but we do our summer basketball program for little kids, and it's fun, but it's hard to keep up with them. So if I were to coach, I'd probably just do little kids because they're fun, but you can only have so much of them.
Yeah. Is there a game this season? Because the schedule is always important, but is there not so much what's the rivalry game that if I was coming to watch y'all, I'd be like, yeah, Vic, this is a game you should definitely check out?
I would definitely say any of our Robinson games.
Okay.
That's just the team that we always find ourselves either in close scores with, I would say, or that's a game that we take seriously. It's kind of how we measure how locked in that we are for postseason and stuff, So that's our big game, I'd say.
And Coach, social media, as you talk about this generation being different, years ago, social media wasn't a thing, and now, as I mentioned, TikTok, Instagram, branding and promoting your program is something coaches understand they have to do, but some coaches don't really want to do it. How do you embrace that with the fine balance between making sure you promote your players and your program as well as the expectations and using it as a tool and as a resource?
Absolutely. Well, the blessing that they have is this is what we also do. My husband and I do for a living. So branding.
That's right.
Yeah, we have a podcast. We have our own program. My husband also is from the 757, and he's a videographer and a filmographer and a producer and all that good stuff.
The documentary.
He's
right?
doing the Boo Williams documentary, yes. So the whole branding aspect is kind of ingrained in me now. Now I will be honest, because sometimes, like my husband will take it to a whole nother level where I have to get out of my comfort zone and go. But for them, I know what it's about and I know what it's needed, and so I want to make sure that we keep them in front, especially the girls side. I really feel like girls basketball does not get enough love, especially in the public sector. Because, it's different, you know what I mean? Like, we're always going to be outplayed by the boys. We went to States 2 years ago, and you would have thought we would have had a huge following, but we didn't, unfortunately. So for me, this is an opportunity to continue to put my girls on the forefront as much as possible. They have their own media days. When they have opportunities, we blast them and all that good stuff. So it's important for us.
Coaches or coach players, any last remarks?
Let's go Cavs.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your time and everything today. So best of luck this season. And again, we appreciate everything.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Now we are here with the Patriot girls varsity basketball team. Coach, would you like to introduce yourself and the rest of your players?
Sure. I'm Kelly McMillan, first-year head coach at. I'm all right. Clearly, first-year head coach Kelly McMillan. I live in Nokesville. I'm very excited to be here. I have Araya Toe, junior. I have a lot of juniors here. Cameron Jackson, Liana Sapina, Ava Hall, Malia Hill, and my lone senior, Sadie Harris, behind me.
Well, we appreciate you being here and taking the time to sit in on the NSMT experience. I know the season's young. Your first year with these ladies, what have you enjoyed so far about just being a coach and the process?
It's a process. These girls, I would say they make it, they make showing up every day worth it. One of the things, like besides basketball skills, obviously that's what I was hired for, is developing future female leaders. And so what's really exciting about this opportunity is just seeing how bought in they are so early. And we talk a lot about stacking days and just continuing to show up. And, you know, we trust the process, and they really believe in each other. And I feel like they have a lot of confidence in me. And so it makes it worth it every day.
Coming from a basketball background, you know, playing in high school up here in Northern Virginia and then also in college, did you know that after college you wanted to coach at the high or just at any level, and then specifically in the Northern Virginia area, or was that kind of just, you know, fell on?
Yeah, I would say no. At first, I didn't think I wanted to coach. Always the plan was wanted to have a family and a career, and was there time for that? I love the game. I think it's really important to give back to a community that like shaped so much of who I am today. And so when the opportunity presented itself, I would say I have 3 small kids. I work at American Express. Like, I definitely have a stacked calendar, but the opportunity presented itself, and it was something that my family and I decided we're going to go for it, and I couldn't be happier.
That's awesome. Dwight Vick, Victory Life. First of all, congratulations, ladies. I was at Pandemonium, Skill Challenge, Shootout. Y'all were cooking. Y'all did very well. You know, it seems like the ladies always do that. I've been to like 4 of them now, maybe 5. So it was a great night. It was fun for the Patriot girls and boys basketball program. Let's talk about you ladies, though. Early in the season, Patriot ladies basketball, how has it been so far? What have you done in the offseason to prepare for this season? What are you conditioning, any mental prep? What have y'all been doing? Players can answer that.
In the off season, we've been doing a lot of like track, like you said, just stacking days, like being inside the gym, doing things just like work on our skill, and then also like conditioning, because that's a big part of the game. So just like track, and then also we did like mental days with each other.
Oh, good. What are mental days like? Just get away, y'all like bonding or?
Yeah, just like team bonding. Like after tracks, like sometimes we'd go get like Slurpees at 7-Eleven, just stuff to like keep the team like united.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Okay. Go ahead, Coach. Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah, I think going to workouts early in the season, I met Coach in May or April, and she just said start stacking days because November's going to come around real quick. And so that's what I did. And we went to the track. We went to all the workouts, most of us, to stack days and get ready for the season.
Now, let's stick with you because you're the lone senior, right?
Yeah.
Have you been on the program all 4 years?
Yeah.
So you've witnessed change, and you've been there with you had Sydney Smith, who's playing college ball in Minnesota, Cheyenne Sweeney, who's at Mary Washington. You've been around some talented players, but you've also seen some change. How are you managing as a senior? Because, when you've been around the program so long, you want certainty and stability. So how have you adjusted to the change?
Yeah, so I was I was nervous getting a new coach because change is always scary, but I just thought if I just show up to all the workouts, I get to know my new coach, and get to know like all the players better. I think that has really helped.
To kind of go off that, what about this team feels different than previous years, and is that due to the coach, or is just what about this team feels different?
I think we all have a lot more belief in ourselves. We are pushing ourselves more. We had like really good players. We had Ella.
Yeah, Ella. I forgot to mention her. Yes.
But we don't have
a single player that we're trying to play off of. We're playing as a team, and I think that's really important. Like, we have a good work ethic, we push ourselves, and we believe in ourselves that we're going to try our hardest to win.
I love that. Question for the coach. You are in the Cedar Run district, and you're talking about old Osborne Park, the defending state champions. Gainesville, I remember that school just opened up a few years ago, and they have a talented team. They have 4 stars returning. When you talk about your expectations, you talk about building future leaders. You've been a hooper yourself, and I could tell you're competitive. I just know how that works. How do you get the ladies to embrace your expectations, you know, as far as competing at a high level no matter what the score is, whether you're winning or losing?
So we talk about staying in the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always. I think it's important, like communication is where we start. Right? A team is a team, whether you're in a boardroom or you're out on the floor. And I'm very clear in what my expectations are. I think they'll tell you that, right? And so no one's ever questioning like what I want or what I expect, but like this isn't about me, right? I've had my wins, I've had my losses, I've been where they are, I've sat in their seat. We're not focused on any other teams, right? Like right now, this is about Patriot, this is about the Pioneers, this is about these girls. We're focused on learning what we need to do, and you know, whatever the jersey says, we're going to show up and we're going to play the same way. We're trying to get that consistency and that buy-in and staying in the fight no matter what the scoreboard says. The first 2 games are showing that these girls like to keep it exciting. I would like it to be a little less exciting. So, you know, we're working on that, and every day it's about incremental progress, right?
You're at Patriot. Patriot has been known for a lot of programs at the championships level. Coach Katie, the volleyball program was done very well. Had a deep playoff run. Coach Sherman Rivers, back-to-back state championship appearances last few years. Also Finnery with the football program. How has Brad, the AD, and the other coaches embraced you being there and supported you and just talking to you about helping you and the program succeed?
Yeah, we've had so much support. Just coming in, obviously, like I'm not in the building too. I'm not a teacher, so there's been a learning curve for sure. I think having sort of that playbook of what a winning program looks like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? So where I can lean on the other coaches, everybody has been so welcoming, reaching out, email, stopping through the gym, any female athletes that want to come and try out for girls basketball, like we're open to that. And so just listening, like I'm trying to take the time to listen to what has worked for them, and Brad Qualls has been, you know, a huge supporter.
Coach, to go off of the first 2 games, keeping it close, I want to say 1 possession both games, correct? And 1-1 so far, right?
Yes.
Can you just kind of speak about your team's fight through the full 4 quarters and what you've liked out of your team in those close games? And, you know, you had the 1 loss, 1 win, how they responded. Can you just talk about that fight?
Yeah, so really both have been, we were just talking about this yesterday, right? That in the first game we were down, right? And it was about both games though were about clock management, right? And just like understanding the situation. And so like, are we learning? And so game 1 we're down and they're using the clock, and do we need to foul? And just like how do we do that? So are we learning in game 2 when we're up? And are we protecting the clock, and the clock is our friend? And for me, like the wins and losses, of course I want to win, right? And in the moment, it's like, you know, that comes through. But it's more about like, is their basketball IQ growing? Are they developing as players? Are they like making good decisions with the basketball, right? Because at the end of the day, this game is about problem solving and decision making. And those skills are the skills that they're going to take into the real world with their families and communities and jobs one day. So.
Absolutely. I want to have a little fun. Ladies in the back, let's chime in. Who's the TikTok star? Who's got the followers? Who's making the best TikToks? Like who? What? Look, everybody point at you. Grab the mic. Yeah, you. They point at you. Yeah. Yeah, let me know how you, what is it that you do? Are you a dancer? Are you doing the skits? Are you doing the trends? What are you doing? What do you got going on?
I do like a lot of dance TikToks with them.
Okay.
But I also like post stuff of me.
Yeah.
On my private, like my other accounts.
Okay, I got you. All right, no doubt. Yeah, so you enjoy it. That's your outlet.
Yeah.
Talk about, what you, and maybe the whole back row, like when you talk about the game and the team, what is it you feel you bring to the team? Like, every time you see a team that say, you know what, I know I can lock anybody up, or I'm tough in the post, or coach, if you want me to hit those clutch free throws, I'm your player. What is it you bring to the team?
Honestly, I think I do bring, like, sometimes the energy, and I try to pick them up, or, like, when somebody gets in their head, I notice it. And I try to, like, help them manage it during the game or even during practice when somebody's down.
Yeah, good stuff. What about you?
I think, like, when it comes to what I bring a high basketball IQ and, like, a leader in practice who can bring people up or know, like, we need to push through this drill and just get it done.
I love the IQ part. Underrated quality. I love that. That's a great answer. Yeah. What about you?
I feel like I really bring a sense of, like, energy also. I feel like especially during games and practices, I kind of just, like, don't stop going, and sometimes that doesn't work out for me because I get a little too much. But I do feel like a little bit, yeah. Yeah. And then I also feel like when I can calm down a little bit, I do bring a sense of leadership through the team, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
The mic. I'll take this one. Yeah. I think I lead a quiet example because I admit I am not the loudest on the court, but when coach or when another teammate gives me an assignment, I will do it.
Sure. I feel like sometimes I get down on myself, but, like, all the girls in the back, like, especially Sadie, like, she did say she has, like, a quiet approach, but we all know that, like, Sadie's always gonna, like, be there for us. Like, she's always there when, like, say, like, we miss our free throw. Like, she's always there to, like, keep up the energy, even though she's, like, quieter. And, like, Malia and Leona are always super energetic. Like, they always keep up the energy in practice. Like, say, like, we're doing a drill and we're not doing our best. Like, they know how to, like, keep the energy up, because when it gets down, nothing good happens. Nothing good comes from it. And Ava, she is very good with her basketball IQ, as she said. Like, she just knows how to read the floor, which most of us struggle with. So, like, we have certain players that we know that we can, like, rely on for certain things, which help the team, like, as a whole.
You want to answer it?
I just wanted to say for, like, Malia, I know something that she brings to the team is her hustle. Like, a lot of, like, even Liana too, they're just really good at hustling and just being that energy for the team. And as for myself, I feel like I bring just, like, a determined mindset. Like, I'm always determined whether I'm messing up or not, like, just to get better and do better and, like, help the team out.
Coach, this one's for you. I can tell from the 10 minutes I've been here that the chemistry is very high, and that's great. And how important is that to you as a coach and being a member of several teams in your life to have that kind of off the court chemistry and, keep everyone positive? Because as she mentioned, nothing good comes when everybody's down and vibes are bad. So how important is that to have that good energy all the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything, right? Like the team chemistry, we talk a lot about, since I've been here, we've talked about building a winning culture. And I think it's not, like, that's not about winning games, right? You got to build the culture first. That's the foundation. And that starts, you don't have to be best friends, but we got to respect each other and we got to respect the game. And that comes with time spent outside of practice. It comes with expectations being set of what we're trying to accomplish. We've done some goal setting, individual goals, team goals, right? Like, we got to write it down and make it real. We got to be able to measure it. And then, I think these girls are starting to buy in. And once you get that buy-in, the wins will follow. I said I wouldn't come in here and overpromise, but the wins will follow eventually.
And then for the players, Coach has mentioned several times that every time you guys step on the court, whether it's a game or practice, it's a learning opportunity. Whether it's decision-making, basketball IQ, skills that you are going to use off the court in your life. Can you guys just speak about how important and how much of a factor she's been on your life as a mentor outside of the basketball coach?
Yeah, obviously her having experience in the game is great because we're all trying to get there. We all want to play college basketball. But outside of it, she's very, we can always rely on her. Like, if we ever need something, I know I can text her outside of this. Because her just being, there constantly for all of us, it's good to have her there because I feel like in past years, I feel like the teams have been, very divided. And, certain players feel like they can't come to certain coaches about certain problems. But she's always provided herself, even, say we quit the team too, she's always going to be there for us. We know we have her.
Anybody want to add?
Coach has been saying recently, experience is the one thing you need after you need it. And I think going into practice, going into games, she has what we need in order to reach our goals. And, yeah.
I think our coach's support has been very important for our journey with the team. Just knowing that she has our back even when we are doubting ourselves or whatever, just knowing that she'll be there to pick us up and she believes in us is really important for our just motivation to play and stuff.
Of course. Well, we appreciate your guys' time today, and best of luck the rest of the season, and we can hope you add the NSMT experience as part of the experience this season.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks. Of course. All right, we are here with the Hayfield boys varsity basketball team. Coach, would you like to introduce yourself and the players next to you and behind you?
Yeah, my name is Coach Carlos Poindexter, the head varsity boys basketball coach. This is my 14th season. To the left of me is Josh Brown, senior guard, wing. To the right, Rodney Carmichael, wing. To the back is Landon Judy, Christian Toe, AJ Moore, and Chase Jackson. It's basically like our starting six.
Coach and Team Dwight Vick with Victory Life, Coach knows me very well. I've told you often that, you are, in your program, your players are a prisoner of the expectations you helped create with the championships, the regional runs, the record-setting games. Talk about how every year, every team is different, no matter who you return and who you lose. And how do you get this new group of guys, even though some of these guys have been around, to buy into those expectations at Hayfield?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a slight struggle trying to get them to get up to the point of where our previous teams were. But looking on our outlook of this particular team, I think that we're still going to be a pretty good team when it comes down to the stretch. Like, we got 2 young guards that we got to get up to speed as quickly as possible, and I'm hoping by January that this group is going to be what a Hayfield team looks like. We might have some struggles early on, but we got a bunch of talent, man, a bunch of talent, and these guys have done it's like pulling teeth sometimes, like, because some practices we look good, and in some practices we look like we've never touched a basketball before. So I'm just trying to get these guys to get up to speed as much as possible and make sure that everyone feels comfortable out on the court.
Yeah, I agree. The VHSL has been talked about, especially the last 5 or 6 years. There's been tons of changes every year. So going into an offseason, then going into a preseason, you have to prepare, whether it's playing up at DeMath and the Capital Hoop Summer League and the Fall League that Tony Bentley runs with Wakefield, but some of the rules have changed that. So how do you adjust and get these guys to get prepared for the season with different leagues you can and cannot play in?
Yeah, I actually think it was good for us this year because, like, we didn't do Wakefield Fall League. We always do Wakefield Fall League, and we didn't do it. So we spent more time just getting in the gym trying to get better. Pretty much everyone outside of Rodney was in the gym with us. He played football this year, so he wasn't in the gym. But the rest of these guys, they've been in there, so they've been building up that chemistry. And I felt like we only played like 6 or 7 games this fall, but I just felt like it was more important for us to be in the gym trying to continue to get better.
Now I see you smiling. Go ahead and grab a mic. Go ahead. I'm here. I'm trained to catch that. Why are you smiling? What was that about? Go ahead, speak. Speaking to the mic.
I was just thinking about we put a lot of hours in this off season, and I think a lot of it's gonna come to fruition very soon. Like, just seeing a lot of chemistry was put together, just seeing how people play, and I think we have a game today. I think today we'll see how much work.
That's right. Who do y'all? The Kyle Honoré Classic or yeah? What time do y'all play today?
We play at 5.
5. Who do y'all have?
North Stafford.
North Stafford. So talk about, and I want him to start and the rest of y'all speak on it. Each year is different, and each player brings something to a team, whether it's, post play, rebounding, defense, 3-point shooting. What is your skill, and what is one of your strongest assets you bring to the team?
One of my strongest assets is definitely my defense, and I think my leadership. I think me and Landon, we've been with Hayfield the longest. And I think that just comes with, we know how the past teams have played, and I don't think it's a pressure. I think it's just an expectation we know we need to play up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically what Josh said. Most of our strongest assets are playing defense and getting out and running, and for the most part, we just got to focus on getting better every day, playing as a team, and then later on, hopefully we improve. And then our younger guards, that I've seen a big difference from summertime too. So they're just improving. So I'm excited to see what we look like when we get to district play, regionals. So yeah.
I think I bring good shooting and defense. Our team's small but scrappy, so we get out and run, fast break layups, transition points. I feel like we're going to do good at the beginning, even though we have a few tough games, but we're just going to see how we do, since we're basically not really a new team, but we're still building chemistry and stuff.
I feel like one of the things I bring to the team, and because I'm a 6-man type of role type of guy, so and it's important for me to bring energy off the bench. So if we're up, push the lead even more. If we're down, bring us back into the game. And keep our bench alive so that our starters, the people that are on the floor, can feel the energy through the bench.
I like that answer. What I bring to the team is I play the point guard, so I'm usually the guy who facilitates, passes, and just be the control of the player on the team. And I feel like as a team, we should be good this season if we could all play together as a team and have that chemistry so we could go far at districts, regionals, and states.
I like that you said facilitate and pass. Sometimes point guards forget that. Thank you.
And I think that what I bring to the team is, being that I was here the longest, I bring probably leadership and knowing what past teams has been like, especially like me and Josh. We've been here the longest. We know the defensive standards, we know offensive standards, and how to run the plays, but also bring our shooting and our touch to the game that we've been playing for a while and years past with Hayfield basketball.
This one's for Josh and Landon. You two have been here the longest, you said, or part of the team. What's it been like kind of stepping into that leadership role? And you have the most seasoned experience with your coach, just kind of preaching what he teaches you guys, but on the court. You guys can kind of serve as those coaches on the court as the two most experienced players. But I guess what I'm asking is just what's it been like stepping into that leadership role as those veterans?
At least for me, I don't think it's been that difficult because I always know what he expects from me, and I think every year he's giving me just more and more things to just put on my plate to be able to maintain and handle, and especially we have a lot of younger guys and a lot of new guys, so it's just I just want to help. I want to get them up to speed. I want them to know the plays, so it's been kind of just natural. I didn't really have to think about it.
Of course.
Yeah, it's really natural knowing, because I feel like Los tells us all the time what you're expected of. But even if you're not the so-and-so leader on the court, everyone has their role and their part. So you really just got to step in where you can. But especially now that he puts that leadership role on you, you got to be louder and, expect more people. You got to hold them accountable. And so it's not hard at all coming into that role with Los, because he's very easy and he tells you exactly what he wants from you.
Yeah, of course. Sounds like everyone's kind of bought into that team first mentality. Coach, someone mentioned the start of your schedule being, quote unquote, difficult or stronger than, did you intentionally schedule these games early, or is that just kind of how it worked out? And then how important is it to get those, again, more difficult games out of the way first? What do you learn about your team in those first 4 or 5 games?
Yeah. So originally our team was supposed to look different. We had a couple of guys that transferred out, but when you put your schedule together in the off season and you think you're going to have a certain type of group, so you make it as hard as possible. Because I thought that, and even I still feel like we're going to be who we are. It's just going to take a little longer. But I felt like with the guys that we thought that we were going to have on the team, I thought that it was just a perfect opportunity just for us to go show and prove that we're the best team out. Now it's a different type. We still going to go show and prove, but it's going to look different. And I just thought that having so we play Westfield, who's supposed to be the top team in the area. We play St. Stephen's as a private school team, and then we play South County, who's supposed to be the best team in our region, and that's all in 1 week. So we played Westfield Tuesday, South County Friday, and then St. Stephen's Saturday. So we're going to really find out who we are really soon.
Now, for the players, that's got to be pretty exciting, right? You got 3 tough games. Can you guys just, one or two of you all, just speak about, again, how exciting is that to have the opportunity to play the best? So you guys want to be the best. You got to beat the best. What kind of preparation goes into, or what kind of excitement? What is the game day vibe like, knowing that you've got 3 tough games upcoming?
I mean, I say we like it because all it does is prepare us for later on in the season, playoff play, getting deeper than just district play. And we got young guys. We got to be able to compete. And a lot of them, they weren't in those games last year where we played BI, Woodson, South Lakes. I mean, those are games where you really got to lock in. Can't even, listen to outside noise. You guys just stay locked in and compete. And I think this is good for earlier on in the season because before we're not like one of those teams like the teams in the past. You don't know if you're going to go undefeated. So you got to grow as a team. You got to get those hard games out the way and improve and just learn from it.
Isn't it crazy you said not go undefeated? That's how good the expectations are. Were you going to add something to that point? Please, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's really great that we're getting these, early in the season because a lot of teams, they don't get to, play the top teams until later on in the region or state tourney, and I think this will just be a good way to, gauge where we're at. And the thing you said with the environment, it's a lot of tough, we're going into SoCo, second game of the year. That's a pretty tough environment, knowing they're right down the road too, they're kind of our rival. So it's just these environments are we're gonna see and we're gonna grow a lot during these games. so we can have it later on in the season.
No doubt. I was at that game last year in line waiting to go in, and then y'all never played. So, I was hot. I text Los myself.
Crazy.
But I joked earlier, but I was serious about, when you guys talked, you said we know we're not going to go undefeated, and you lost some players. I follow Hayfield basketball very closely to the point sometimes people think I'm Los's agent because I promote Los so much because I respect greatness and also intense coaching. But I want any player, and this is not about throwing shade. You guys are a program, and there's programs in public school sectors, 5 or 6 of them where private schools do pluck away players. And I'm sure there's been guys in your DMs. How do y'all manage that when you lose a brother? Not that he's doing anything bad, he's doing what's best for himself. How do y'all manage that when you lose a couple of kids to the private school sector?
For the most part, I mean, they got to do what's best for them at the end of the day. And we can't make that decision for them. No matter what you say to them, I mean, they got to do what's best for them at the end of the day. All you can do is support them, believe in them, and just say good luck on your journey.
No doubt. Well said.
And I just add to that, like, I always preach next man up. So, like, even though, like, we lost a kid named Cam Prosper, who's 6'7", someone that's on the inside. But now we're just going to make it up between Rodney, Josh, Landon, and we got another big kid named Sean Colbert that's we're trying to groom to be to help us out throughout the playoffs. So I teach next man up. And then now that I got a sophomore guard in Chase, you got a freshman guard in CT, we lost another guard, Aiden Pratt. Like, these two guys are going to make up for what Aiden was going to bring to the table. So I'm just can't wait till we start playing so that I can see what it looks like, see what we need to adjust, and keep it going, because I really do feel like we got a strong enough team to make a run.
You talk about next man up, and you've done a great job of that, with your program and how the expectations is state of bust. Not so much you say that, but the media guys like myself, people that follow the program. You've been in the game a long time. 14 years is going by fast, and you've been around some great teams, and you've learned a lot. When you look at this year's team, not so much putting pressure on them, when you look at this year's team, what is the ceiling for them?
The ceiling's going to be what the ceiling is. I just think we're going to take one game at a time, one practice at a time, and just continue to adjust to formulate the best team that we can put out on the floor. I truly believe that we're going to be one of the top 6 to 8 teams when it's all said and done. And I just hope that we're playing well when it comes to February, and we have a chance to get to the state tournament, because this would be our 6th year going to the state tournament if we make that happen.
I get the vibe that it's all business with this team. You guys, it's very serious. Outside of, you guys have mentioned South County and South Lakes, but are there any other games on the schedule that you guys are looking forward to playing, knowing that the atmosphere might be, extra, or just whether that's a private school, what do they call it, the game, exhibition game, or it's a district game
so
that you got looking forward to?
I mean, I know for Rodney, he's probably looking forward to South County. He came from South County. You got CT who was at Mark Twain, who was supposed to go to Edison, but ended up moving into our district. So I know CT's probably excited about Edison. I'm not sure if anyone else is excited about a different game or not. But y'all, anybody?
I mean, I'd say Edison, because we play Edison sometimes 3 times, 4 times, and it's hard to beat a team 3-4 times once they know everything you're already doing. So it just comes to preparation, and really we all just competing, because in those games you got to stay focused and just stay locked in.
How does, stick with the players, how does not just Coach Los, but his assistants, how they prepare y'all? Because basketball, unlike football, is a long season. We start in the summer, then you start, the tryouts in November, and there's the preseason workouts, and you can go all the way up into February and March. And you can play up to 3 or 4 games in a week. What do the other assistants do to prepare y'all and get y'all locked in? Because I know it's not just him. I know his assistants. And how do they help y'all prepare?
I feel often a lot of times people don't give a lot of credit to assistant coaches. And our staff, like, our assistant coaches are there every day. Mm-hmm. They play a big role in winning, being there every day, playing hard, whether it's being in the weight room every day, making sure our mind's right, eating right, maybe it's watching film, or even, like, we got coaches in the school like Coach AJ who just checks on you every day. You go to his class, you need anything, and really just we get after it every day, and they help us a lot. It's not really just a one-man job with Los. Like, they really help us a lot.
Yeah. Anybody else want to answer that?
Just to add on to that, I think we have like some of the best like coaching staff like in Northern Virginia. Like the amount of time and effort they put into us, like it's unreal. Like staying after practice every day just to help you put up shots, skill work. We have Coach Lee before practice every day. We're in the weight room. We have Coach Peebles. We have Coach AJ. Sometimes he's even getting into practices, running with us. Like it's just
running with y'all.
Yeah, like
wow.
The amount of time and effort is just. It's unmatched, and I can't thank them enough for how much they do for us.
I love it. Anybody have aspirations to play college basketball, and how's that going? I know this is the season you locked in, but Hayfield has put a lot of guys at the next level, and it's not about everybody has to go to college, but anybody have aspirations, and how's that going?
I definitely have aspirations to play college basketball. It's just right now, mostly since I'm a freshman, I'm trying to learn from the older guys, so I could take that as a senior to the next step to teach the younger guys too, and then take that with me to college basketball.
Anybody else?
I'm definitely looking forward to college, but, you know, it's just listening to Los because I know he's put so many guys into college. So just listening to year by year by what he's saying, and the coaching staff, they know the best, especially Coach Lee getting my body ready. And, I mean, the number one step he's always preaching to us is just staying in the gym because it's your body first before basketball, really. And, you know, you got to have your mind and your body right before you get on the court.
Hey, well, we appreciate your guys' time today, and best of luck the rest of the season. Best of luck this afternoon, and thank you guys for joining us here on the NSMT Experience.
Thank you.
All right, we are joined by the Chantilly boys varsity basketball team. Coach, would you mind introducing yourself and the players next to you?
Hello, my name is it on?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Rodney Carmichael. I'm the head boys varsity basketball coach at Chantilly High School. going into my 6th season here, and I have 3 of our core representatives, Vavon Desai, Mateo Alvarado Gallego, and Jaden Wade here. And I think we are embarking on a turning point in our program. It's been some lean years for the first 5 years, but now we are at a point in our program where we have an abundance of talent at the lower levels, our feeders, freshmen and JV, and these 3 guys and some of the reserves coming off of 2 tough games are ready to take on the challenges that we have in front of us for the season.
Thank you, Coach, and we appreciate your time to be here today. The season's young. You said it's your 6th season, correct? You guys are – sounds like you're getting ready to finally take that hump or get over the hump and, play late February basketball into March, hopefully, of course. What about this team, despite the season being so young, gives you that confidence that this group can do that?
I was telling my wife probably about a month ago that coming off of team camps in June, the fall season where we had several team camps and some fall league games, this has been my most connected team in my 6 years at this point in the season. Previous years, we've had teams that were connected, but they didn't get connected until late, like maybe mid-January, early February. Going into a season, this has been the most connected team that we've had. And when I say connected, I'm talking about the accountability, the communication, the talking, the adjustments. We as coaches on the staff, we have to do less coaching and just more reminders and teaching and talking. And that's a tremendous asset, especially when you have a senior like Vavon, who is vocal. I haven't always had vocal seniors, and he's very vocal, and he's very demanding, he's very talkative, and he's a true attachment of me on the floor, and that helps in so many different aspects.
And players, are you guys all returners?
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of the same question, but Coach mentioned your connectedness. Can you guys just speak about the connection of this year's team in comparison to years past, and why you feel confident again that you guys can play basketball?
Yeah, definitely. So previous years we've definitely had talent here at Chantilly, but we haven't always like linked up together well. And I feel like this year it's more about like everyone that's on the team, on the floor, we're super unselfish and we're really bought into the program. So we try to do like the best for the program necessarily, and we're not always looking out for ourselves, but we're playing for each other.
Over the summer, half of the team, we would work out in the mornings. We would do a bunch of hill workouts, track workouts, sand workouts, and it really brought us together because that grind, that struggle brought us all together, and it's just us all being together would eventually lead to the unselfishness, and we're all going to the same goal, which is win, and we don't care how we get there, who scores the most. We just want to win and get as far as possible.
I think we're all really close as friends together. Rather it's just going to get food or hanging out, watching some basketball. We're all closely together, and we just feel like we have a really good shot to win, all of us. And if we can do that together, then that's the best capability possible.
Absolutely. Dwight Vick with Victory Life. How you guys doing? You're 1-1 on the season. You had a tough, close loss to Woodson, which is a program that was in states just last year, and they lost to South Lakes. So if you can lose, there's no moral victories you're celebrating, but to lose 57, I believe 51, to be that close, what did you learn from that loss? Because we learn more from our losses. We learn from our wins, but we learn more from our losses. To the coaches and players, what did you learn from that loss?
As a coach, the goal going into this season was to load the schedule up with as much talent and difficulty as possible. So Woodson was a gift from the Fairfax schedulers because it's, our turn to play that region or that district, and most of the teams in that district. But the rest of the schedule, I purposely, intentionally set out to put these guys up against the greatest talent that I could find that was willing to play us. So, we have Episcopal on the schedule for next Saturday. We have Pope John Paul coming in. We just played Seton, another private school, on Thursday. Where we won in overtime. And throughout June, team camps, throughout fall, that's all I searched for. Our district is not the Sisters of the Poor. We have Madison, we have South Lakes, Westfield, who's probably going to be a regional semifinal team. That's who we face, twice in the season, at home and away, and throughout the conference. So in order for me to get ready for that and to reach the goals that we have set for these guys, we had to find the toughest possible beast. And they say iron sharpens iron. The only way we know how to do that is we don't duck anybody and go get it. And these guys, they welcome the challenge. We put a lot on their plate, the accountability, the standard, the expectation, and they rise every single time. And so to me as a coach, it doesn't matter if I'm 0-13 in December. What matters is what we do come January and February to reach those goals. And I think that these guys, everything that we've asked for them to do, sometimes it can be a little absurd. They do it. They just rise to the occasion because I believe that they want the same thing that we want for the program. And that's phenomenal having young guys.
Yeah. Players, you want to talk about what you learned in that game so far?
I think the loss against Woodson actually helped us beat Seton. Because late in the fourth quarter, I think when we brought the game back, we kind of relaxed. We kind of got comfortable, and that minute of comfortableness is what lost us the lead and lost us the lead. So when we went into Seton, our goal was if we get into that close scenario, was just to keep the league and keep stepping on their throats and just come out with the dub without relaxing.
So something I learned from that Woodson game, it's really about what it takes to win for us. That's a game that we could have had, but it was just the little things, right? Like boxing out, grabbing rebounds. We give up too many offensive rebounds. We rebound the ball better that game. I feel like that's one we can take home. And then just lack of focus. In certain moments of the game, we lose focus. They end up going on a little run. And, like that's what winning is about for us. 32 minutes, we got to be locked in. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what I learned from the Woodson game was that, like Vaughn said, it was the little things. Like we had, I think, in total 13 missed layups. That really cost us the game if you really think about it. That's 26 points on our end. So if we make those points, yeah, sure, we might win the game. But it's also like, what do we do when we don't hit those points? What do we do defensively? Are we getting back in time? It's stuff like that. So it's like, we really just have to lock in more. We gave up, I think, in the last 2 minutes, 6 points back-to-back. So we really just have to lock in defensively, transition. They had a lot of transition points. We got to get back, guard the threes. They had too many threes. We knew coming into the game that they were a three-point team and they couldn't beat us off twos. So we had to lock in on the threes, but we let too much up.
I can tell Coach is doing a great job with y'all because y'all gave me a lot of analytics. Y'all talked about rebounding and shooting and percentages, which is really good. Coach also mentioned your district. I used to live in Fairfax County for about 5 years in the early 2000s. And Chantilly, I remember when Westfield was built and they took away from Centerville. You guys are in a very tough part of Fairfax. You talk about Madison. I watched them last night on NFHS against Battlefield. They're always tough. They were in that zone, and they make you be patient on defense. And then you have Westfield. Coach Kevin's over there. He won 2 chips at Centerville, and now he's at Westfield, and they're the favorite. There's going to be some challengers. When you look at competition, this is what I do miss as a player. When you look at competition, any player can answer this. I know y'all not ducking no wreck, but at the same time, what is it like to say, hey, we're going to play these teams? I'm going to not be selfish, but I'm going to show what I bring. And what is it that each one of you bring when it comes to game time?
Yeah, so as a senior, my focus this year is bringing that leadership. If I can get the guys around me to play better, I feel like I've done my job. And obviously I have to bring my own game. Offense, defense, all that, rebounding. But yeah, I think my job right now this year is to get all these guys around me better.
Like it.
For me, I think it's kind of control the pace of the game. I feel like if I get rushed, I think everybody else gets rushed. So if I just calm down and set up the table for the rest of my guys, they have trust in me. I got trust in them. So, yeah, that's what I need to bring, the pace.
For me, I take pride in my ability to get to the basket a lot. So I try and say, no one person can stop me. if one person's guarding me and gets in front of me, I got to be able to get past that person. Like, they should be able to help defense, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So bring the help defense and me, like, kick it out to my open teammates where I know these two right here, they're, like, knockdown shooters when they're wide open. So we got to be able to get those open shots. And also, I got to work on my defense a little more. Like, past 2 games, I've been in a lot of foul trouble, first quarter, second quarter. So I just got to be able to lock in more, get some defensive stops without fouling.
I love that answer. That was a nice way of saying nobody can guard me.
This could be coach or players. Vic mentioned just the district you guys are in and just the nature of that, and whether it's Madison or Westfield. But are there any specific, when you look at your schedule, are there any specific games that you may have circled that, maybe you lost to them last year, left a bad taste in your mouth that you want revenge on, or is it just whoever's across the other jersey, going to play Chantilly basketball?
Well, let me just set the tone for that question. We finished no better than 4th in all 6 years. So everybody on the schedule, it doesn't matter who it is, whether we beat them last year or not, everybody on the schedule is a target. Everybody on the schedule, we expect to come out and compete. Obviously, there are going to be some games that are tougher than others, but the level of expectation and the standard is the one that we create for ourselves. It's not our opponent. Regardless of how good or how bad they are, we have certain benchmarks that we want to reach every game. These guys know what those benchmarks are. That's the goal. That's the standard. The scoreboard's going to say what it's going to say if we reach our goals and our expectations. So doesn't matter what color the jersey is on the other side of the court. We're playing to our expectation, our goals, and our standard. And what everybody else thinks about that doesn't matter.
Yes, sir. Players, this is for you guys as returners. The season's young, but it's evident that the past years are the past, and Chantilly's, they're coming this season. What's it been like kind of stepping into that leadership role as returners? Maybe for some of the guys who, Coach mentioned your feeder programs, and what's it just been like stepping into that leadership role, or how have you felt yourself kind of taking that on the court coach, role for some of these younger guys who just, have not experienced basketball at this level.
So for the younger guys, especially JV and freshmen, I feel like the best way to convey to them what our program is about leading by example. So when we play these tough teams, we have these tough games, we have to go out there and perform, right? We don't want to go out there and not play to our culture, not play to our standard. Like, the best way for them to understand what we're really about is for them to see it. So I feel like that's what we take pride on, is having the younger guys come, they see us, and they experience the game, they experience what we're about.
I think our goal this season is kind of to change the culture of Chantilly basketball. The last couple of years, we lost a bunch of things. We lost games. But this year, there's no difference because we haven't played any of those games, so anything could happen. But I think it's our work ethic that we got to pass down to the JV and freshmen. We work really, really hard, and I don't think a lot of people see that. So I think if we could just get the freshmen and the JV to look up to us and see what work we've been putting in, they could see, oh, yeah, that's the work we got to put in to be like them. So then they could rise to that standard.
So every week we have Saturday practice because we can't practice on Sundays. So we invite some of the JV and freshman guys over to our practice. They get to watch. They get to see what we've been doing. And we don't take it easy on them, So that's why I feel like we have a lot of young talent, because in the practices, we're allowed to foul, but, we're not allowed to kill them, you know what I mean? So we're not taking it easy. We're going at them. We're attacking them every time, running our plays, running our defense so their plays don't work against us. So it's at the same time, it's like getting both of us better by practicing with each other in the same environment.
Yeah, I love the fact that y'all do that. I always wonder why football and basketball programs don't get more inclusive with the JV and freshman team, because those guys are going to be replacing y'all one day. So I'm really impressed by that. Coach, I'm glad you also touched on the fact that you have not finished lower than 4th in a very competitive district. I knew that, but I don't think a lot of people watching this live or even people that do these podcasts know that. And it's tough because, when my son was at Patriot, they played South Lakes a few times and played Madison in the state quarterfinals. And I was like, man, this Madison team makes you work on defense. When you talk about Chantilly basketball and how you never finished lower than fourth, kind of in your own words, and if the players want to chime in, you can. What is Chantilly basketball for those watching that may not know?
Well, I understand the dynamic of my population. What we have to do is we have to make sure that we are building year-round. I don't have a lot of tremendous individual talent coming into my school, even at the lower levels. So the work has to be done. We have to focus on our fundamentals. We have to focus on our shooting. We have to focus on those building blocks, the foundation to a great season in the off season. So what we're a year-round, hard-working program. And what does that mean for a freshman coming into my school? Well, mom and dad's got to understand, if you want to play basketball, this is, with the exception of July and August, we're year-round. We're 10 months. Okay, and now it doesn't mean that you can't play another sport. It doesn't mean that you can't go be a kid and have fun. It just means that if you want to get in the gym, you want to get better, you have a passion for this game, we're here. We will support you and we will provide those opportunities for you. For these guys, because of the district and the conference that we play in and everybody else is a year-round program, we kind of have to step up. So we play together. The ball moves. We defend. We shoot. We have our own way of eking out wins, okay? We don't have to deal with the 6'8" monster that's at South Lakes anymore. So we have
Jordan.
We have, Jordan Scott. So it's a race for, first or second right now in our district. Obviously, Westfield is the penciled-in favorite, but everybody else, we're competing. And we're fighting right now. And I tell these guys all the time, once you establish yourself, once you create the identity, and we can go from there. Previously, I've always had 2, 3, maybe 4 guys that could play, and then the other 7 or 8, you look down the bench, it's a lonely sight. Because I didn't have much else coming off the bench where everybody else may have had 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? And so anytime you get in foul trouble, anytime somebody gets the flu, anytime somebody gets sick, it's hard. And we barely could score 45, 47 points. Everybody else is averaging 60. But what do I have to do as a coach? I have to increase the ability of my lower levels. I have to increase the talent and the skill set of my lower levels. These two came in as freshmen. They played JV right away because they had the ability to contribute on the JV level. I would have stifled their growth if I put them on freshmen. So then now, last year, Mateo and Jaden played varsity as sophomores. And they cut their teeth. That's the type of progression that we need. That's the type of progression that allows us now to build from a solid foundation, talent base, and continue to compete at our level. The other schools, they're continuing to get better. When nobody's waiting on us. So we have to kind of initiate that and kind of just take ownership of, 1, how do we want to be as a program? 2, how do we want to operate? And the buy-in. I need buy-in from parents. I need buy-in from players. But I'm not going to, sell them short. This is what we have to do. This is what we do. And like Jade spoke of, freshmen, we have some key freshman players and some key JV players. They're invited to practice on Saturday. It's a 3-hour practice on Saturday. And they come in and they understand, hey, this is what varsity basketball is like. And I don't allow them to take it easy on the young kids, and the young kids got to know it's physical, it's hard. You got to make the sprints the same way these guys got to make the sprints. And if you don't make it, I don't care if you're on the team or not. If any of the freshmen in JV don't make it, we back on the line. We're doing it again. If you showed up on Saturday, I expect you to meet the expectation the same way they got to meet it.
That was I was gonna say that was awesome. You said 2 of the 3 here started. Was it you guys started at the freshman level here at Chantilly, right? And then
we started JV.
Oh, okay. Can you guys just talk about like your experience kind of coming from the foundation that Coach mentioned, and then now you guys are here, key contributors to the varsity team. Coach just pretty much gave a phenomenal answer about, needing a buy-in and an expectation and not taking it easy on the freshmen or the JV that are invited to play. Can you guys just kind of speak about your experience as a player, that perspective?
So JV, my freshman year, me and Mateo really stepped in, not knowing what we were going to have to do to get onto varsity. Like me and Mateo came in we want to play varsity, but if we're not gonna play, then we gotta go do something else. So we really talked to the seniors that were on the team, Ivan and Amari. They gave us a lot of mentorship, and so they really told us what the goal that Carmichael had for us, what we were gonna end up doing. It's we would come practice whenever we could, and they would go hard on us. They wouldn't, if we missed a layup, they would let us know about it. If we had to turnover, they would let us know about it. And the sprints it was rough. First week of practice, it was rough. We were dying, we were gassed. I was cramping up. It was rough.
I think the reason JV helped so much when I got moved up to varsity was it taught me how to lead a team. I've never been in a position that I was the younger guy leading the team, so it taught me how to be vocal as a leader, but also as a point guard to slow down everybody. And then I remember talking to Ivan, and he used to tell me that he used to tell 3 of the guys to go at me at practice and try and bully me at practice. And I used to get so mad at him, and I talked to him, and he told me that he meant to do that because he knew where I could be, and I wasn't at that level yet. But he was my role model. So, yeah.
Coaches, players, we appreciate your time, and personally, I know I'm excited to come check you guys out this year and see what Chantilly's got. But again, appreciate your time for coming and enjoying the NSMT experience. It means a lot to us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
How close do we need to hold the mics?
It's like chin.
Okay.
Yeah. Inch below it, 2 inches below it.
Talking to the mics when you talk. Okay.
Yeah, definitely talking. All right, we are now joined by the Battlefield Bobcats varsity head sorry, let me start that. We are now joined by the Battlefield Bobcats varsity boys basketball team. Coach, would you mind introducing yourself and the players to your left and right?
Yeah, Coach RJ DeAndre. I've got senior captain right here, Luke Shingler, junior captain Cooper Cramp on my right.
Awesome, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time here, and players as well. We greatly appreciate you having us here joining us on the experience. You played high school basketball here in Westfield, just here in Fairfax County, and now you are coaching at Battlefield. Did you always know you wanted to coach at some point?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a unique situation. So my grandfather coached high school his whole life in PA. My dad coached me growing up through travel into high school. Had a lot of family issues and life circumstances pop up in high school. And, you know, if I had somebody like me growing up and that opportunity to kind of show me what is what, teach me how to value and prioritize my humanity in life, you know, it would have helped me a lot. And so it's just, I kind of think of it as like a badge of honor to be able to come back here and just be that voice or be that person for these guys, like the next generation, just be there through them. I mean, it's the ball stops bouncing for all of us. So just developing that humanity and developing that next level personability, I think it'll carry them a lot further than basketball can.
Yeah, of course. And the season's young, but, you know, the off-season workouts start, you know, well before November. What's it just been like being a coach so far?
No, I mean, it's been great. I think we've just been keeping our head down and working. I mean, since the second we got hired, we've been in the gym every single minute that we're allowed to work out. I mean, we're working out. This was the first off season that we were in the weight room intensely. This was the first off season that I think, you know, and these guys will be able to speak to that a little bit. I mean, we want the work to speak for ourselves. But at the end of the day, like, we're inexperienced to an extent. We've lost a lot of minutes from last year. So not only do we have to learn how the grind works at a high level, we got to learn how to win too. And that just takes time. But we've been talking about it for the last 6 months. We are not a results-oriented program. Wins and losses for us don't matter in December. We're really just trying to play and become a team that's capable of year in and year out competing for districts, regionals, and state titles.
Coach Dwight Vick again, Victory Life. This is my second time getting a chance to speak with you. I watched your game last night against Madison on the NFHS app, and I was watching it, and you guys were playing hard. It was a back-and-forth game. They would pull ahead by 10. All of a sudden, you guys were going to run, hit a three, get a steal. You cut it to 5 or 6 points 4 times, I believe. When you talk about this young season, and players, you can chime in as well, what have you learned so far? I know it's a long season. We're going to go all the way until next year, January, February. What have you learned so far about the team?
I think you can see it in both games that we've had so far. I mean, even a very, very good Colonial Forge team in that first game, I mean, it was a 4-point game with 4 minutes left. And so one of the things that we're seeing is early on, we're getting good shots, we're running offense well, but we're a little tight right now. We're inexperienced, we come out, the rim gets a little smaller. I think we've gotten outscored in the first quarter by double digits both games, and it's just second and third quarter having to come back. But it's the discipline stuff that you see with inexperienced teams. So you cut those leads to 4, you cut those leads to 5, but can you continue to box out consistently? Can you continue to see man-and ball? Can you continue to stop jumping cuts, jumping balls, stop the 45 cuts? And you saw it last night. Every time we went on a run, every time we cut it, it was just little undisciplined things that put us out of position and gave them an opportunity to jump back up on us. And so, like, the first 2 games, I mean, you're just seeing us slowly put it together. I mean, once we put 3-4 quarters together, I think we're going to surprise some people and be a really, really good basketball team. But again, it's just the process for us. We got to figure out how to do it from start to finish.
Do you want to chime in on that?
Like you were saying, the good spurts are there. Like, you can really see the potential of what this team is able to do. It's just that since we're a young team, since it's really early in the season, we still have to focus on how to stay disciplined and watch those cuts, you know, watch your man on defense, watch off ball. Like, you have to be able to see everything. You have to stay disciplined while you're going on those spurts so that you don't let the team pull away again. And that's something that we're trying to do as the season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this year is a very intriguing year for the Cedar Run District. You have several new coaches. Osborne Park has a new coach. Osborne has Coach Lacey, who comes from Richard Bland. Battlefield has you, and UNE Reed has a new coach, and I may be forgetting somebody. And you have Independence, which swapped with Freedom South Riding. So this is kind of the season of change and new. What isn't new at Battlefield is the championship expectations. You know, you replaced Randy Bills, a legendary coach who took them to a state championship game appearance. They had those great battles with Patriot, and you also have Gainesville now in the district, a new school. It's been around for about 4 years, and they've had some battles with Battlefield. How do you guys, and this is for the coaches and the players, how do you make your mark? I know you're going to get your expectations instilled with these guys, but how does Battlefield stay atop of that district, which really is, you know, a lot of new teams with coaches. How do you get into that? We're going to be here at the end of the day as well.
I think for us, we just keep our head down and work. We really aren't concerning ourselves with any of the teams in our district. It's not a shot at anybody in our district. I think it would just do a disservice to our process if we're not focused on what we need to do at all times. I mean, you and I have talked about it in the past. Sherman has set the mark for what this district needs to be. I think schools have made some really good hires, guys that are coming in that are just nothing but passionate and committed to turning around programs. And so, like I said, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, Sherman set the bar in this district, and it's on all of us to put our heads down and match that level of work ethic, because those Patriot kids, I mean, they work hard. And that's all this is at the end of the day. And so I think you're going to start to see teams in this district match that work ethic in the offseason. They're going to match that work ethic in the fall. And hopefully this district is ultra competitive, and it gives us a chance to really get to VCU. Any of us in the district get to VCU and compete with those Southern teams, those teams that are used to that kind of level of physicality throughout the entire season rather than just a month spurt at the beginning or a month spurt at the end.
I would say something that's going to keep us up there is our culture. We've definitely built a new culture this year. In past years, we would get down, we would yell at our teammates, like we wouldn't play together. But I'd say this year, we believe in each other, we stay positive, and we just never give up. So I think that's what's going to help us get to the top of our district.
I like that you brought up culture. To kind of go off of that, I can kind of tell Coach brings the energy. For the players, what's it been like under the new coach and, you know, his culture and his program and how he runs things? What's it been like, you know, playing under him?
I mean, Coop already said it. We're here for each other now. I think that in past years, like he also said, we've kind of gotten frustrated with each other, and we haven't really been able to pull ourselves together and make sure that we're still having a good team morale. And one of the things that Coach RJ has really pushed for us to do for this year is making sure that we're here for each other, like no matter what the situation is. Whenever we're struggling, whenever things are going well for us, we have to make sure that we're still together as a team, and we can't just rely on the coaches to keep our morale up. We have to be able to do that for each other as well.
I would just say he's very determined. He's up till 2 a.m. watching film for us. He's whatever he needs to do to make us the better team. I would say if we need an energy boost, we can all rely on him. He is very energetic. He gives us that boost we need to go on the runs. And I think that's what's going to help us get over some of our humps in some of our games.
Yeah, now let me just say something. Like, it speaks volumes to the players that we have. Like, it's really hard to come in as a new coach and try to introduce a 180 from what they're used to, from a work ethic expectation and from an accountability expectation. None of this would have been possible without these guys buying in. Like, they can say anything they want about me. It doesn't happen unless the players actually buy in. And we've gotten 100% buy-in from the majority of this varsity team. And I think that's, you know, what's going to propel us is the players. I can bring as much energy as I want and drink as much caffeine as I want, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going out and doing the hard stuff. They're the ones that are going out and, I mean, their job is going to be a lot harder than mine every single night. And, you know, I can't thank them enough, and I appreciate the world out of all of them, especially this one on my left here, senior captain who, you know, from day one has just been locked in helping us build this.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the captains, what's it kind of been like just stepping into that captain role and, you know, knowing like your voice, you know, might carry a little bit of leverage and the younger guys are looking up to you as captains. Can you just speak about what it's been like embracing that role and how it's, you know, maybe changed you or not changed you at all as a person on the court, but also off the court?
So it's definitely been very different because in the past years, you know, my voice hasn't really been as loud, I won't say as important, but just like I wouldn't say it's been as heard in the past years. And so it really has been just a 180 shift. Like it's been completely different. But one of the things that's made this a lot easier for me is all the support that I've had from my teammates and my coaches. Like I get a lot of feedback about how I'm doing. I get, you know, constructive criticism. And so I really just have a lot of support around me while I'm trying to support my own teammates. We're all here for each other, and that's really the main part of this new culture that we've been trying to build.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll just say the voice is heard. Everybody listens. Everybody, not even just the captains, everybody's voice. Everybody talks during workouts, games. Everybody listens, and everybody buys in. Like, there's nobody that's out not doing whatever they need to do. Everybody's bought in, and that's really what makes up our culture, to be honest. So I would just say the buy-in is what's really good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the buy-in, or I'm not surprised by Coach RJ's energy. I mean, I knew of him before I met him. He's a trainer with Chauncey, and you got to have energy. I mean, all those college and NBA prospects running around that gym, he had to be energetic. And speaking of that, man, how do you transition? Because there's a difference between the cones and the drills and the 3-on-3 and then now you have to create a culture and get them to have a program. You're building a program versus you have 3 or 4 training sessions on Saturday. Coach, how do you do that? Because everyone can't do that. Some guys are just trainers and some guys are coaches. It's a difference.
Yeah, and I think the advantage for me is, I mean, I've been coaching travel AAU since I was 16 years old. I was an accident, to be honest with you, for college credits. But I'm more of a coach than a trainer anyway. I always have been. And so, like, we talked about it. We go back to that Battlefield team that went to states, Hassan Hamad and some of those boys. I coached all of them growing up. We've got a bunch of kids in the district all throughout, Patriot, Gainesville, Battlefield, that we've coached growing up. Had a lot of experience just coaching on the Adidas circuit. So I think the good thing from the training aspect is you get to work with high-level people. You get to meet high-level people, create relationships. And so you kind of get a vision of, like, what these kids at Battlefield need to check off to get to where they want to go if college is something. So I think the training world has just kind of opened my ability to leverage relationships and figure out development plans to get these kids on a path, whether that's D3, D2, D1, JUCO, preferably right now. But whatever it may be, I think that it's had its advantages. The team building stuff is what I love. So honestly, to step into the coaching realm and get out of the training realm has been a blessing. I mean, this is my passion more so than just the cone stuff.
Absolutely. And you talk about, Battlefield and all the kids you guys have. As a coach, I've often felt the life lessons are what keep you atop of your craft, right? The life lessons, not just your personal ones. You talk about some of the stuff you experienced in your childhood, but even, from a tough loss or an amazing win, a comeback win. But there's always, you have the therapist that has to see a therapist. Who is the coach you model your coaching style after? Who do you talk to for consultation, like how Luke Skywalker would go see Yoda? You know what I mean? Like, who's your Yoda?
So it's funny. So, like, 2 different answers to that. So who do I emulate my persona after, who I try to be? I mean, you guys have all talked about it. I'm a very high energy person, and I realize that in games, I do all my energy and all my coaching before games. When I'm in a game, I have to be the calmest voice in the room, especially with a team of our caliber right now. Mm-hmm. Brad Stevens has been my idol since he was at Butler. One of the best X's and O's coaches of all time. I really try to emulate his demeanor at all times, just because, again, that calming presence is how you win at a high level. The players already know how to play at that level. They don't need the rah-rah energy. They need somebody that can just help everybody take a deep breath, lead them to that next step. And then as that, like, counseling, honestly, I lean a lot on Mike Desmond and Sherman. Both of them have been huge helps to me. I literally was on the phone with both of them yesterday. Des called me right after our game, gave me some words of encouragement, some advice, held me accountable for a mistake I made during the game, which is what I need and what I seek out. So to answer that question right now, it's definitely Mike Desmond and Sherman Rivers. I mean, they've been huge helps to me, just trying to understand and grow and walk down my own path. But just to have that kind of experience, it's been a blessing. I can't thank those 2 enough.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Desmond and Sherman Rivers, man. Mike Desmond is a funny guy. I can't ever tell if he's serious or if he's sarcastic.
He is an incredible basketball coach and a very funny human being. On and off the court. Yeah, he's an amazing coach, and Sherm too. So yeah, like, they're both great people, and I think that's kind of what we're trying to build with our culture is, like, the ball stops bouncing. Our humanity will always define who we are as people, and those are 2 great people. And so just can't be great without the greatness of others, and I appreciate those 2 a ton.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, players, we appreciate your time today and joining us on the NSMT experience. Best of luck this season, and hopefully catch a few of you guys' games. But seriously, we greatly appreciate it, and yeah, that's all we have.
I can't thank you guys enough. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
I'm here with the Patriot boys varsity basketball team. Coach, would you mind introducing yourself and the players to your left and right?
Yes.
You just grab the mic.
I need the mic. I know.
Yeah, if you guys could just speak into the mic.
So, good. All right. I'm Sherman Rivers. I'm the head boys basketball coach at Patriot High School. You want them to introduce themselves? You want me to introduce them?
Yeah, they can introduce themselves if they don't mind.
Introduce yourselves, guys. There you go.
My name is Kai Wilcox, class of 2026.
My name is Sean Madrigal, class of 2026.
My name is Noah Conrad, class of 2026.
My name is Elijah Gaskins, class of 2026.
Coach, Patriot, the standard, championships, whatever sport it is, but basketball specifically, you guys have built such a winning culture. How do you guys get back to the top and repeat as state champions?
It'd be nice to win the first state championship.
That's what I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Listen, I like the way you're thinking, though. It comes with hard work. You can't cheat the process of it. And I know that everybody sees what we are now, and they want to, have those things and get those things for themselves. But what they didn't see was, this being our 10th year with the program, of that team that was winning 11 games and losing 15 and struggling to try to get wins. And what happened is we just had kids buy in and year out to what the standard is as far as what we hold ourselves to and what we strive to. And we've been lucky enough to be very fortunate to win the last 8 district championships and the last 4 region championships. And that doesn't come without the hard work and dedication to the process of getting better.
Coach, we had Carlos Poindexter and Hayfield here about an hour and a half ago, and they came in and he didn't shy away from expectations. He talked about next man up mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost a few players to private schools, but you also lost a few years ago and even last year some really good players to graduation.
Mm-hmm.
But yet here we are again with a talented team. I know all these guys personally. I watched them grow. I watched you guys against Riverside. Started off slow, and then all of a sudden you were faced with some adversity. Elijah foul trouble, but then Sean and Noah stepped up. I know, Kai, you're coming back here soon from injury. You have another talented team, and the expectations remain. The same thing for Hayfield, the same thing for Westfield and South Lakes. How do you and your staff get these guys to understand, yes, the Patriot way is championship, but also this is your legacy this year? How do you get you and your staff get these guys to buy in to know what's expected of them and what they bring to the table?
I mean, it's the culture of what we do. We have guys that are fortunate enough to have played in our program and have gone on to do some really good things and play at the next level. And those guys come back in the summertime and have conversations with these guys about what their expectations are for what they need to do to carry on the legacy of what they started. So, and they don't want to let those guys down, but they also want to prove that they are who they are supposed to be, and they need to get their own pub and, recognition for the hard work and what they put in. And it's kind of like you don't want to drop the baton. It's like you don't want to be the first to be like, hey, they didn't win it that year. So, and then, then you have the other part of it being like you want to be the first to be like, hey, we won the big one, and you guys can't say that. So it's a lot to kind of live up to year in and year out. But when you have a culture of that, of hard work and earning it and winning, you just get used to it. And it just becomes the norm. And like you said, it's just a thing that happens. And, you realize you're going to have very good players. And the thing about it, they're going to graduate at some point. So the next guy's got to be ready to take over when it's their turn. And these guys got to watch some very good players play when they were in 9th and 10th grade. And then they learned the way to do it. And now they're the ones doing it and setting the example for our other young guys.
No doubt. Sean, I'm going to start with you. You had a great summer. I saw you in Henrico at the Sportsplex when you guys played Petersburg. Saw you against Hayfield. You had some big shots, along with, Noah and Elijah and the rest of the team. But you've kind of carried that over here into the basketball season in Riverside on the road against a very good team. You had 6 threes, and the rest of your teammates were off. You have a smooth game. When you talk about being a shooter, Patriots had a lot of shooters from Mike Ackerman, Trey Nelson, Tay Barber. You seem to fit that same mold. What is it that you've been motivated to stay on track with regarding your scoring ability?
I think it's just, trying to get better and trying to do something for my team just motivates me every day. And I'm trying to make a name for myself at the end of the day, too.
And, you know, I just been putting in the work and, you know, doing my role at Patriot. At first, I wasn't taking as many shots. You know, I was sticking to my role, but as I kept sticking to my role and just playing my role, Sherm said he started letting me do what I wanted to do. So that's just how it comes.
That's good. That's good. Elijah, I want to ask you this question. You were a lot of people felt like, well, you know, you didn't get Player of the Year for the district, but then you came around and got Player of the Year for the region, and you were named All-State. Patriot has a long history of great guards. They just do, and that's just one thing that's happened since Sherman's been at Patriot. It's your time up. This is your last year, and then I believe you're going to prep, right?
Probably, yes.
Probably, yeah, possibly, right? So when you talk about this year being your last go-around and all the accolades you had so far, how do you stay motivated? I know you have your team goals, but you have a target on your back, and there's expectations for you to be that leader and that playmaker. How do you embrace that, and how do you handle that?
You know, there's plenty of great guards that came from Patriot High School, Nas, Trey. You know, I'm blessed to be at Patriot. I'm blessed to have all these accolades. But there's always that, like, strive that, like, wants me to be greater because of all – like you said, the target on my back, there's people talking smack. Like, there's people talking smack. There's a ice hockey game yesterday, and my name was brought up. So, you know, it's just – I love it when people talk crazy because it really, like, burns like a fire in my soul to, like, want to play harder.
Yeah. And that's the Patriot way. You're going to be, you know, I saw that personally firsthand with Zay, and that's just how it is. You guys are the topic of every Barstool account. People circle your game on their calendar. The student sections know all about all four of y'all and your other teammates, JP and company. Do you guys, and anybody can answer this question, not just Elijah, do you guys embrace the villain role? Because only Red Nation loves y'all.
Let the leader of Red Nation talk on that.
I for sure embrace it because I want everybody to talk and everybody to come out to my games at the end of the day. Because the more we talk and more we bring a fire out in everybody else, the more people come out to our games. The more money we get, the more recognition we get. You know what I'm saying? So if they come out and we get the villain role, if that's who they think we are, that's who we think we are, we got to be that. At the end of the day, every single league got to have a villain. If that got to be us, then that got to be us.
Do you guys feel like you play better whenever the expectations are higher? You quickly nod your head? Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we most definitely play better. I mean, we're a team that most definitely strives off energy. So a lot of times we have to make our own energy, but when there's energy in the crowd, we're feeding off of that. We're going at the crowd. We're talking to everybody, and it's just a great game for all of us. So I feel like we most definitely strive off of people coming out, people targeting us.
Yeah, of course. And you guys, you know, state runner-up 2 of the last 3 years, I want to say. All of you guys are returning, correct? What about this team? I know I asked the coach already, but what from the players, what about this team are you guys confident that you guys can capture that state title?
I feel like basically last year we all were inexperienced and we all thought what everybody else won, we won. So the years before that, all the regional championships, all the state appearances, all the district championships, we thought we won those, but we weren't a part of that. I mean, we were on the team, but we weren't playing. You know, and now we understand that we have to win something. We have to make our own name. The name that they made for themselves, we got to do that for ourselves. So we understand that we're a new group, but we're returning a little bit. But at the end of the day, we're going to still lead up to the expectations and be our own selves and understand we're not Tay, we're not Zay, we're not Kai, we're not Dez, we're not Trey, we're not all of them. We're our own team, and we understand that now, and we're going to fill our roles as we should.
Yeah, of course. Are there anything that the fans should know about this team and the name that you guys are trying to make about yourselves?
Charlie, you want to do that one?
Yeah, we just want to win states. We want to end on a bang. That's all they got to know.
You know, Kai, I joked you at the last media today, the Prince William County one. I joked and said you have been there like 9 years. I've watched you grow, man. You actually have a distinct perspective because you were with those teams. You were there when the banners were hung up and the nets were cut, and you talk about we want to win states. You guys have been close. There's no doubt about it, and that comes with all the hard work you guys do on the track, in the gym, in the weight room. With the perspective you have being a senior and being on those teams, you know, beating Oscar Smith in 2 back-to-back years, the tough battles with Hayfield, also the Battlefield rivalry. Do you talk to – I know you guys have a group chat. Does that stick with you? Like, because I interviewed Carson and Jeremy last year after your 4th regional championship, and Jeremy talked about how he really wanted to win states, and because it was his last year, him and Ethan. How do you feel going into this year once you get back on the court? You know, is that definitely what you want? Are you willing to do everything you can for your team and yourself?
Personally, yeah. Like, I feel like after coming from injury, that like I have a lot to prove for myself, and like there's not really a lot of expectations because no one's really seen me do anything for the past like 8 months. So I'm just ready to get out there and hoop, help my team as best as I can, and just play ball. And hopefully we can go as far as we can because at the end of the day, the whole team, we just want to win a ring. Like, it's our senior year. We've been playing for like years. Like, we've been playing forever together. So we just try to end it on like a good one.
Yeah. When you look at your district, I was interviewing Battlefield just a few minutes ago, and I told Coach RJ, it's interesting because this is the district where Cedar Run, you guys have dominated, but there's a lot of new coaches. You got Osborne, a new coach, Coach Lacey. You also have Osborne Park with a new coach. Battlefield, as I mentioned, RJ. Unity Reed has a new coach. Gainesville is right down the street. You guys are familiar with them. Their coaches are new, but they're right there with you. When you look at the challengers in the district, when you look at your schedule, Sherman does not shy away from bump. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge regarding the schedule and the expectations you just mentioned? What do you think the biggest challenge is?
The biggest challenge is just staying consistent even when the team doesn't look great. It's about like having the same mindset that we got to kill them. We got to like put them out right when the game starts. We can't just play with them. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And Sherman, I joke you every year. I'm like, yo, I don't know what you're doing with this schedule. You have a schedule today at the Carolina Ray Classic. You played Norview later this evening. You didn't play Verona last night, right? Is that going to be?
No, we're going to look at moving that to another date. They canceled school, so we couldn't have.
Okay, I was looking for it and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But you have there's a stretch, I believe, and help me because I don't do the schedule. Because every year, I don't think you ever do a home game to start the season. There was one year you played Woodside. And then there was another year you opened up against Hayfield on ring night ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, last year we opened up at home with Landon. It was a private school game, but then we proceeded to go to South Carolina for the next 3 games. So it's like it didn't even happen. So
yeah. So when you look at the schedule, what's that? Everybody's important. You can't disrespect your opponents, but there's a stretch you were telling me recently. It's Westfield, Lansdowne. What is it?
Yeah, it's in that week. Westfield and Lansdowne is in that same week, and I can't remember who the Friday game is. Oh, it's Gainesville the Friday. So that's a nice little stretch to come out for the new year. But, I mean, it's at the end of the day, the stretch that you would have to play within the regional tournament or the state tournament is going to be just as daunting. So we just have to make sure that we're focused on the task at hand. Iron sharpens iron, like what we always say, and we're going to play a tough schedule. I mean, today we have Norview, who beat Morey last night by 28 points. So, and Morey has clearly been a team that's been a very good team over the years. So, and when I watched them on film this morning, I felt like I was looking in the mirror as far as how they want to play. They're athletic, but they also run good stuff, and they got some guys that can make some shots and make some plays. So we're going to have to be ready to play today, but I have no doubt that we're going to be there. A lot of times people look at me and they think I talk a whole lot and are overconfident, but I'm confident in our guys. I mean, listening to them talk gets my blood going. I'm telling you, because you can hear the competitiveness in their voices. And knowing that that's where they are, just from their answers, gets me ready to go. And so it's just one of those things that we all feed off of each other and that we just have that competitive fire to want to get better. And you can't get better without playing very tough teams.
This is for the players. Coach, you just said it, that you wouldn't schedule these games if you weren't confident in your players. So players, what does it mean to you knowing that your coach is confident that you guys can hang with these private schools or these exhibition games that aren't in your region or something? Just can you speak about the confidence that your coach has in you and how you guys use that to kind of reciprocate it and play on the court?
I mean, knowing that we have a coach that trusts us and knowing that we have a coach that's going to put confidence in us no matter what gives us the confidence that we need. I mean, everybody's had a coach before where they're like, oh, we don't want to play against bad teams because we want our schedule to look good, blah, blah, blah. No. If you have a coach that puts trust in you and gives you these hard schedules and then go to the future when you play in the playoffs and you play against a hard team over and over and over again, you're ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that we have that confidence, it makes us knock down shots. It makes us be okay with missing one shot but getting back on defense and getting it back because that's just what we've been learning. That's the culture we've bought into, So knowing that we have these hard games and it's just a confidence thing. And confidence is basketball. Basketball is all mental at the end of the day. So if we are good mentally and knowing that our coach is good mentally with us, then it doesn't matter who we play. At the end of the day, we're going to step out there and we're going to work hard. So that's how we feel about it.
Of course. And then you've mentioned how you guys have been a part of those teams that have cut the net and hung the state runner-up banners and the region, but it doesn't necessarily feel 100% fulfilling knowing that it wasn't, you guys, it was you guys, but you know what I mean? You guys were the younger guys. But now it's your turn. Now it's your guys' team, as you mentioned.
Let me say something really quick.
A few of y'all's senior years, you guys have wanted this for as soon as you put on the Patriot jersey. Why are you certain that this year's team will get there? And then secondly, what has it just been like, or has the approach been any different this year, knowing, okay, this might be our last chance. This is our last window with the guys next to me and playing for the guy, to the next.
I'm gonna let them answer, but we don't hang runner-up banners.
Sorry about that.
and listen, whoever is going to take offense to this can take offense to it, but that's weird. So, all right, but I'll let you go ahead and answer. Go ahead.
Cut the nets. Alex.
The difference now is that we just got to be able to take accountability. Understand who we are and what we're made of and what we're going to be. We cut down the nets, but we weren't the star players. But what does that matter? Everybody has a role. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody else is going to understand. And if we build up this culture that understands that, okay, now it's our time to work, the younger players are going to understand. We see them work hard. We see what they're going to do, and they're just going to keep on living up to that and keep on working up to that. And then it makes us better because the harder they work, knowing that they want it too, the harder we'll work and the better we'll get. So that's how it works.
Yeah, it's amazing looking at you. I remember like 3 years ago, you would give me a head nod. I didn't know if you spoke. And then now you're in here. I see you on TV campaigning on TikTok. It's a blessing, man. I really enjoy seeing that. But in regards to practice, how intense, because when you have this much talent, and I know everyone's not here, and any one of y'all, Sean, Elijah, can answer this, is our practice is still intense? Zay never really gave me an insight. He just told me, yeah, practices. What I heard, when I'm telling you, I heard practices were intense. And Sherman and them and Devon and Teron were just sitting back just with their, like Karate Kid, like sweep the leg. What? How were the practices?
To start off, there's no foul calls. So there's so much trash talking during the practice. So it's I feel like there's never a calm moment during practice. There's always trash talking. Or somebody's fouling you, that's a foul, and they just everybody just continues with the play. But it's good like that. 'Cause, when you're in the game and you get fouled, you're just used to it. So it's not like you're going to complain for the foul or anything like that because you go through it during practice.
Do you feel like because you have the guards you have with Chris and the rest of those guys and the talent y'all have, do you feel like it's good to have that bump? Do you feel like it pushes you?
Little Chris is so shifty, so it's really hard to guard him. So it's a really good practice for me for when I'm playing against these state-like guards, region player-like guards. It really does help me.
Yeah, it's good.
Go ahead. You got the next one. Go ahead, say what you got to say, buddy.
I feel like our practices are great. We actually do compete every day. Sometimes, we might slack off, but at the end of the day, we always compete and try and make each other better. And, we just always do what we're supposed to do. So I'm proud of what we do as a team in practice.
Yeah, I watch them every day at practice. I'm not doing nothing, but I watch these guys. They compete every day. They play hard every day, and I love watching them talk smack to each other. That makes my day better. But I just want to say they always are competing. They're always getting better.
Yeah. Kyle, you can keep it. I'm going to ask you this question, man. You are scheduled to come back in January, right?
Yeah, it should be late January into February, around then.
Yeah. I remember watching you play early as a freshman, and you were the second leading scorer in that district tiebreaker game against Battlefield that was played at Gainesville High School. You had a big shot in the semifinals against Oscar. You had a couple of big threes. You and Tay were on fire against Oscar Smith. They played that game at Hilton. When you come back from injury, how have you stayed connected mentally? Because from what I know, even in my own career, it's about staying connected. You do the rehab, but the mental part, how do you stay connected?
So I've really been focusing on my mental, alongside with the rehab and the working out and stuff. I've been focusing, I've been reading books and stuff, trying to get my mind sharp. So when I come back, I don't have as many distractions. So I've been trying to help myself. That's the best I can say. That's how I'm gonna stay connected and how I'm gonna carry it through the season.
Yeah, Sherman, you have a lot of guys here over the last several years have gone on to play college. Mm-hmm. You even at your days when you were an assistant coach at Potomac, you've been around that game. You even coached collegiately at Mount Olive. Mm-hmm. How are you helping these guys with the college process? That's a question a lot of guys like myself and other media guys, as well as parents, want to know. Because respectfully, and this is not you saying, this is me, the VHSL and the schools don't give you the stipend you and Los and all you guys deserve. I mean,
Right.
but some days you also an educator, you work in the school, but you're also, a role model, you're a mentor, you do a lot. It's a year-round job. But how do you help these guys with their branding, social media etiquette, getting those looks? Because college coaches are always in your gym. So how do you help them with that process, navigating everything that goes along with that?
I mean, I do the best I can, to help them. Obviously, there's going to be some things that they're going to have to learn along the way and some questions that, they're going to have to answer when they talk with their parents. But, the biggest thing is when talking about brand-wise, you're trying to put out a good product. And when I say that, I don't mean necessarily that you're always scoring the most points or, making the super flash plays. Just like how you approach the game, your work ethic in it, what are people saying about you when you're not there, as far as you in the classroom or throughout the school. Like you said, you listen to these guys talk, and, I'm sure there's a certain perception of teams, especially when you're whooping up on people and kids got tattoos and whatnot, that they're a certain type of way. But you can see they're all well-spoken. They can step up here and they can speak clearly and articulate the things that they want to say, which is an extremely important part. They can advocate for themselves. And then their talent has made them get the attention of schools. And obviously Noah's had a lot of schools that he's been able to visit to. Elijah's had some D1s that have come through the gym and, preps and whatnot. Sean's talked to a couple different levels, and Kai throughout his career has had some coaches talk to him. And we've been fortunate enough to have a lot of kids go on and play at the next level. I mean, we got 3 guys playing for the number 6 D3 team in the country right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mary Washington, last time I checked, Courtney Davis was leading his team and scoring at the D2 school he's playing at. Trey Nelson's playing at D2 school at Clarion. You got Tay, obviously what he's doing at Harvard, and Isaiah, your son, is killing it at Wingate. And then this is not even talking about the kids that have gone to school and have already graduated and done those sorts of things. So if we can prepare them for the next phase of life, hopefully it's, can fulfill their dream of being a college basketball player. But, we had some kids come back in the gym the other day that didn't go on and play college basketball, but they're doing great things in their life in other aspects. So that's really what it is as far as like helping these young men become men and being able to do the things that they're able to do later on in their life.
Yeah. Well said. And Elijah, I got a fun question for you. I mean, I've known you since you were 6 years old back in the Biddy Ball days at Manassas Park. I've known your dad a long time. Little Birdie told me he's coaching JV at Patriot. True or false?
That is very true. It's just crazy. It's an amazing experience. Me going into varsity practice, I see my dad coaching because he's been my coach basically my whole life.
Yeah.
It's just great to see him to be
Now,
able to coach again.
The fun part of my question is this. You've been playing for your dad. You also played on the shoe circuit team. You've had other coaches, but your dad has been there from day one. So what's the difference between him and Coach Sherman Rivers, honestly?
To be honest, I generally do think that they're like the same person, just like they just look different. Like the way
Really?
the way Sherm like yells at me whenever he's mad, like it's the same way my dad did. So it's just like he's like a second father figure.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know. I just was because I know your dad a long time. He's always smiling and talking with me, but I've seen him get on you. But I know Sherm takes it to level 10. Yeah, I know. I've seen him. I saw him yell at my son one time, and Abe messed up, but he was getting on Isaiah. But you guys all know that's part of the game, and you talk about that how iron sharpened iron, and how Sherm and the coaches get on you guys and hold you accountable. How do you guys hold each other accountable? Because that's what it's all about.
We hold each other accountable by just understanding that if you make a mistake, somebody's going to say something to you. Like, that's just how the world is. I mean, at the end of the day, once you grow up, you go get a job, you mess up, your boss is going to say something to you, and that's just how it's going to be. So understanding that right now, let's say Elijah turns the ball over, doesn't get back on defense, somebody's going to chew him out for that. And at the end of the day, it's not coming from a place of hatred. It's coming from a place of, listen, we're trying to get better and we're trying to win some. And he understands that. So he takes the accountability. He says my fault, and he gets back in and makes the play after that. And after that, it gets better for us. Let's say I miss a shot. Sean's going to be right there to pick me back up. He's going to be right there to pick my head back up as a leader. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not only one leader on our team. Everybody's a leader. You know what I'm saying? We might have 3 captains, but everybody's a captain at the end of the day, and everybody has their role. So as long as we can keep each other accountable, we're going to win games. We talk to each other every single day about anything. And any mistakes. Let's say you're messing up in school, somebody's gonna say I don't want to run a 6 and 30 when we get back to practice. You know what I'm saying? So We do a whole bunch. I don't even know what we do at this point. He just says something and then we're like, all right, I guess we're doing it. But basically, it's just we know what the expectation is and we know what other people have done and we just understand. We just got to be accountable for it. Just take that accountability because that's the next step of being a winning program. We can be a good program and not be accountable and just go out there and roll the ball out and play basketball, or we could be a winning program, roll the ball out and play basketball. You got to have those two things to be a good team. So yeah.
And how do you guys maintain? You said you can be a good program or you can be a winning program. What has made Patriot such a successful winning program recently?
It starts in the off season. Like, our basketball isn't just in the season; it's all year round, and that's what makes us different from a lot of these teams. Like, we're doing everything that these teams aren't doing. Like, Sherm is always pushing us to be better on the court, outside of the court, in the classroom, everywhere. And that's where I think it comes from.
It's pretty evident. It's ring or bust this year, right? Coach, players, we appreciate your guys' time. Hope you enjoyed it on the NSMT experience. Best of luck tonight. Best of luck the rest of the season. And we look forward to catching some of your guys' games.
Thank you guys for having us.
I'd say Woodson. I have a lot of friends on Woodson, and we lost both games against them, 3 games against them last year. So I kind of want to get those back and show them what we got.
Nate just mentioned Robinson. We're certainly going to have to play some defense against them. They scored 118 points last night against Langley.
Oh, they did?
Double overtime. Yeah, they won 118-107. So
I saw the score when I was looking on Twitter, X or whatever, but I just glanced at it. I didn't know they got that high. That's insane. The Patriot district, you mentioned that. The Patriot district, going back to that, do you feel like you said from top to bottom, when you talk about that district, Coach, sometimes you see districts beat up on each other and they're worn down by the time the top 2 teams get to regionals. When you talk about the level of competition in that district and how deep it is, do you feel like it really actually prepares you, or is it just a cliche where we think it does, but then it wears us down? Because it can benefit a lot of teams, but sometimes it can wear you down mentally. You have to be ready to play every district game.
Yeah, you certainly do. I take the approach, I'm sure our players are going to take the approach as well, that it's going to prepare us for hopefully higher goals after the regular season's over. But then, of course, it goes to district tournament, and you're playing those same teams again. And that's the whole thing, is you're playing certain teams, if you can advance in the district tournament a third time, and the way the regionals are set up, you're going to play potentially a team a 4th time. I know when Lake Braddock made the state finals a few years back, they played South County 5 times that year. But I think it prepares you overall. I mean, you cannot take a night off in our district. Literally, whoever at the time is the first place in the regular season, they can get knocked off. I remember looking at scores last year, and I'd be like, wow, whoever was the 8th place team at the time only lost to South County by 2, or there was a couple times like the 7 seed beat the 1st or 2nd place team during the regular season. It kind of reminds me of the old, ACC basketball and things like that. So I think it prepares you for the postseason more than getting worn down. But yeah, it's once again the district is going to be extremely deep. A lot of good teams in the district.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen a Blake Braddock versus South County basketball game, both schools consistently come out to watch and cheer, and so I feel like high intensity environments like that get you prepared for what you're going to see in the playoffs, like those down the stretch moments where like there's lots of pressure. These district games feel like state championship games sometimes.
Nate, this one's for you. It's very evident that your team thinks very highly of you. Can you just kind of, from your perspective, what's it like having, your team think so highly of you, but also not, get caught up in that and be sure to balance and make the players around you better? Are you taking a different approach to the season this year? Is there a certain part of your game that you've been focusing on, or can you speak on that?
I've been focusing on helping my teammates more. I've been trying to find the open man for open 3, because last night I was getting double teamed down low in the post, so I was trying to look for the open man, and my teammates were hitting their shots, so we took home the win. But I also like to come up and help them when they're being pressured, because I can handle the ball pretty well, and I'm tall, so I could pass over people. So it's just I feel like it's pretty easy for me compared to Dean, who has to scrap his way up the court.
As players, when you play for a program and you've been together a long time, whether it's through AAU, youth leagues, and you get to that pinnacle of, wow, I'm a senior and, I want to make a run at a championship, whether it be district, regional, or even states. You look at the Lake Braddock culture. Are there some players that came before you guys when you were maybe a youngin', a freshman or sophomore, they were ahead of y'all, you respect that had an impact on you? I always feel like that's the sign of a great program, when the guys ahead of you saw them make their mark and you remember that. Now it's your turn. Is there anybody y'all think of in the last recent years that you can mention today?
Shout out Xavier Main. That's my guy. That's why I'm wearing number 3. Just try to be more like him every day, because I was going to curse there. He's a dog. He's a dog.
Anyone else?
Last year we had a point guard, Ty Clayton. He was always giving good advice and talking to us, making sure that we're keeping a calm head. So.
Last year we also had a small forward, Nick Tarr. He was a great locker room guy, really funny, really genuine guy, nice, great leader, taking leadership skills after him.
And shout out Sean Dose and Marcus Showalter, seniors when I was a freshman. They're part of the reason I am who I am today. So,
got anything?
Going back to that, Marcus Showalter and Gabe Garver, 2 seniors from when I was a freshman who shout out the Marine Corps, Gabe Garver, who I just really looked up to and made me want to have much of an impact as they did.
Coach, players, we greatly appreciate your time here and hope you enjoyed the NSMT experience. So best of luck this season and everything. And again, we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Saturday to join us. I'm here with I'm now joined by the Edison boys varsity basketball team. Coach, would you mind introducing yourself and the players to your left and right?
I'm Trey Ford, head boys varsity basketball coach at Thomas Edison.
I'm Ian Oldham. I'm a junior. I go to Thomas Edison High School.
I'm Tyson Lacey. I'm a sophomore here at Edison High School.
I'm Mason Brown. I'm a senior here.
Miles McGrew. I'm a junior at Edison.
Tristan Watson. I'm a senior.
So you're the only coach I can ask this as you guys come right off of a game, but congrats on the victory. And again, I appreciate you guys being here and, getting over here right after the game. But what did you like out of your team today? Let's start with that.
Well, to start the game off, we got punched in the mouth first. We went down 9-0. I called a quick timeout. Got at the boys a little bit. One thing about these boys is they respond to me very well. So we fought back, cut it. We went up 11-9, and then it was a close game back and forth throughout. We hang our hats on the defensive end of the floor. Second half of the game, we really harped on to that, and we're able to come out with a double-digit victory.
Of course. And you guys played last night. Obviously not the outcome you wanted, but you come back this morning or this afternoon, like you said, down 9-0 to start. Easy to hang your head in that situation, but you guys didn't, and you're very resilient and come back and win. Can you just speak about this team's competitiveness, and also players feel free to chime in on how you guys hold each other accountable in a situation like that? Yeah, so
I'll start with from this offseason, I put these guys through the gauntlet just to set them up for the out-of-conference schedule that I was going to put them through. And we started off last night playing against Westfield, who is the favorite to win the state this year. We fought down by 2 at the half. They came out and they punched us in the mouth to start the third, but it was a learning lesson for the boys, and I'm glad that we got to go through that early. They grew up a ton. We are young. We only have 3 seniors, but it was great to see them bounce back today and really respond to that loss yesterday. And I feel like that's going to help us throughout the season because you want to play your best basketball about February, March.
You go ahead. You can speak. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just kind of having good chemistry and playing together, working together, because sometimes we play selfish basketball, and that's not our best basketball. We team basketball. And so kind of just, like you said, learning lesson from last night, and then starting today, we got a double-digit win. So, it's all learning as the season goes on.
Yeah, and understanding personnel. Like, if one of us is struggling, we build confidence in them. We instill confidence in them that whatever they're doing, they can get back to what they're doing. We also instill confidence in our coaching staff that they know what they're doing. They know the sets we're going to run. They know what defense schemes we're going to do. And we know that they watch film, we watch film, and we prepare and we stay ready. And so just having confidence in each and every one of us, from the top guy to the bottom guy, being able to contribute and do their job just day in, day out builds the confidence. So like Coach said, we play our best basketball around February, March.
Yeah, Dwight Vick with Victory Life. I want to talk about the Edison program. Coach, we can stick with you. I feel like every time I turned on the NFHS app or looked on Twitter, y'all were playing Hayfield. I feel like every time I look, y'all are playing Hayfield. Y'all, that's a big matchup. But at the same time, Edison's program, I'm very familiar with it from the standpoint, my son played at Patriot High School, and Patriot would play y'all like always in that 3rd or 4th week in the fall league. And it was always packed. A lot of people were standing around the gym, and there was a lot of athletes on the court. Edison has a history of great athletes, great basketball players. There was also a season, I believe, y'all had a couple of bigs and a kid that wore number 3 that was real athletic, a wing, a guard, and y'all gave Hayfield all they wanted. That was down to the wire. I was there. It was packed. Talk about just, I'm bringing up memories, man. Just talk about the Edison culture and what it means to put on that uniform and play at Edison.
Yeah. So this is my 4th year at Edison. The first year that I was there, we were able to make the state Final Four, which was absolutely amazing. We had a bigger team. We had an experienced team. They were senior-led when I got the job. But my thing is, when I got that job, I was coming in to change the culture, make it a more defensive-minded school. However, like you said, when you can combine the athletes that Edison gets and add the defensive tools to go along with that, we could go a long way. And I feel like that first year, that's what we did, and I feel like the culture has been set since I got that job these last 4 years, and these boys hang our hat on that defensive end of the floor. Hayfield is 56-0 right now in the last 4 or 5 years in the district. We haven't got them yet, and since I've got there, it's always been a 3-point game,
Yep.
4-point game, 2-point game. They got us by 21 time. But I feel like the group we have this year, they have a chip on their shoulder from what we've been going through in the past. And these boys are really enjoying playing with each other, gelling with each other, on the court, off the court. And I feel like this is going to be a very special season for us.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You know that record. You know, when you want to get somebody off that mountaintop. And it's not no shade because we all love and respect Hayfield and Carlos Poindexter and what he's done.
Most definitely.
But what you guys are doing is no short of achievement as well. But you want to knock them off. Speaking of that, I'll start with you. We can go around. Just talk about what year you are and also what you bring to the table. Like, not so much your scouting report, but when you say when the lights come on, I know I'm going to do this every game.
Yeah, so I'm the starting varsity point guard.
Uh-huh.
And so it's my job to, lead the team and set an example. I'm a sophomore. Last year we had to play Isaiah Skin, who really was the best player on the court for us, did a lot for us. And so me kind of just filling that role and taking the lead and kind of just setting an example and, taking control of the team. So, like you said, Hayfield, I really think we have a chance this year, and we're, having a chip on our shoulder every single game. So we've proven everybody wrong.
Yeah.
And to touch on Tyson's point, he played a lot last year as a freshman. This year he's stepping into that starting point guard role, but he is our defensive hound. He gets us going defensively. He's one of the better communicators on the team. And when he is hounding that ball, those 4 guys that's on the floor, they respond to him, and they back him up with that.
Love it.
My name's Ian. I'm a starter. I start at the wing. I feel like my role in the team has, jumped around from time to time, but I feel like this year mainly, I've truly found my role. I'm that energy guy. I get rebounds and stuff. I get stops on the defensive end, and I score when needed. You know what I mean? Last year, I didn't really know my role. I played a lot, and then towards the end of the season, I didn't get much minutes because I didn't really know my role. But, really buying into Coach Trey's offense, it really helped me find my role this year. And I feel like we got a great shot beating Hayfield.
Yeah.
My name is Mason. I'm a senior. Mainly for this team, I feel like I bring the leadership. Being a senior, I've been here longer than every single one of these other players. And just understanding what it takes to win, what the sacrifice it takes, whether it's from the early morning practices on Saturday when we want to be asleep or the late nights on Friday when we're in the gym getting up shots. It's just understanding how badly we really want to win this, how badly we want to go far in the season, and being able to play for our coaching staff, especially because Coach Trey was wrong last year, and so we want to play for him and play through him. But just honestly, just leading them to battle, starting with the communication and the defense end, like Coach Trey preaches on, but then just continuing that energy on the bench, energy in the game, getting the crowd hype, getting into it, and just giving 110% every night we're out there.
Nice. And being a senior, you got to make this count. There's no reset button. It's not a PS5. We can't plug it back in. You know what I'm saying?
My name is Tristan. I'm a senior. I feel like this year I'm really trying to be more of a communicator and a better leader because I started out my sophomore year. I came here from West Virginia. I was really quiet and I didn't really say much, but now I'm really trying to pick it up and talk a lot more and be there for my team.
Yeah, good stuff. You said you moved here from West Virginia?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it different here than West Virginia?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
My name is Miles McGrew. I'm a junior. It's my first year on varsity, but even just being on JV, I looked up to these guys up here, watching them on the court, seeing the energy that they brought. Coach Trey, one of the best coaches in the area by far. So I just wanted to come in, bring that energy. Our seniors, Mason and sophomore Tyson, they keep practice going, keep it livid, keep it energy competitive. So on the court, I try to be like them, talk, bring energy, rebound, just keep the team going even when it gets quiet, when it gets down. So I just think I bring a good amount of energy to the team.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that slide. This is a compliment. You said you feel like Coach is one of the best coaches in the area. That's the DMV, right?
By far, Nova in general is by far one of the best coaches. His name is known all throughout.
I know that. I'm just saying you said that with confidence.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, just for everybody watching on this stream and that's going to see the clips later, elaborate on that because I'm not trolling. I think that's a great thing. I think that's excellent. When you say he's one of the best, explain that because people say that in cliche or they just say that in passing, but elaborate on what that means.
I mean, from his first year coming at Edison, it was a state Final Four, correct? That immediately shows how much effort, how much skill he brings, his coaching history in the past. You posted your He posted his, credentials, all that, and you can see by far, like, he works to get where he's at. Nothing's handed to him. He gets us there. He pushes us. He doesn't let us lack off. He doesn't let us slack in practice. He will get you to where you need to be, no matter what.
You guys.
Yeah, yeah, I know Coach Trey for a little bit now, and he's got me a lot better since I met him. When I met him, I was scared. I was not confident. I was just not a good basketball player, honestly, and I've improved so much over the years, and is why I love playing here at Edison. So,
One thing I will say though is, if you you don't even have to look at any of the credentials or where he's coached. If you just come in and watch an Edison basketball game, watch the adjustments he's able to make on the fly, and even just be a fly on the wall during our practices, you will see the impact that he makes to our team. And you can see the impact he made last year when we lost him. It definitely was an impact and a presence that we missed. But just being able to watch him and watch the adjustments that we make as a team, you truly see how valuable he is to our basketball team.
Yeah, and the sacrifices on and off the court that he makes for our team is beyond we're beyond grateful for it every single day, in and out.
Coach, you heard it from the players. They clearly think very highly of you. Just kind of from your perspective on the players, what's it been like as a coach? You have a team full of guys that are fully bought into the culture that you wanted to instill when you took this position 4 years ago. And they mentioned your resume, and obviously you've made a name for yourself. But again, just what's it been like? How fortunate is it to have a team like this Edison squad that is so bought into your culture? And yeah, just speak about that.
It's amazing because what I put them through, it's not easy to go through, especially as a 15, 16, 17-year-old. And what it takes to get there also takes time as well. But to see them go from not buying in and then partially buying in to fully committing and I gotta buy into Coach Trey's way, because they know that if they want to, I'm building them to be successful way beyond basketball, and I'm working to build grown men as they leave Edison High School, and I know the sacrifices that I put in to build this as well. So just to watch them grow from freshmen into seniors and then go to leave Edison and become fine young men in today's society is really all I'm about. The wins and the losses, they're great, of course, but producing fine young men is what matters most to me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. And for the seniors and anybody who's known Coach Trey or played with him, feel free to answer this. But how's it been? You guys have known him the longest. You guys have played under him, with Edison the longest. How's it been kind of stepping into that leadership role on the court? Kind of the coach on the court. So just how's it been, stepping into that leadership role under Coach Trey?
Yeah, so I remember actually the very first practice I had with Coach Trey when he was technically still applying for the Edison job. And I could already get a sense from this is the culture that's going to be set at Edison. This is the standard that we're going to have. But just growing up, his last 4 years, seeing how Coach Trey holds not only each other accountable and his players, but he holds himself accountable. He talks about how much film he watches, how much he prepares for the games, and that just how he holds himself accountable translates to us. And so just being able to see that, but also see the goals that he has, like he said, not only just to win basketball games, but to produce well-rounded young men. I think that just speaks to his character, but also just being able to learn from him as a basketball coach, but also as a man about how to grow up in life. And I think just his leadership style has really shaped me to who I am today.
I agree with Mason. When I first came here, or before, in the summer, I went to a summer league game, and I saw how vocal Coach Trey was. Even if he wasn't coaching, he was still coaching from the sidelines to all the players, telling them what to do, where to go. And I was just excited to get into that. And we started practice. It was a lot different than what it was in West Virginia. It was a lot tougher, a lot more discipline that needed to be instilled in me. So I feel like it just changed me a lot as a person.
I remember my first memory of Coach Trey. It was a fall league game against Patriot when I was a freshman, and he threw me in the game. It was the middle of the game.
I was at that game.
Yeah. I was a freshman, yeah. It was nerve-wracking, for sure, going against, I think Patriot had made the state championship the past year. And yeah, I mean, he just led me through it the whole way through, and like that's when I really got to know him as a coach and as a leader.
Yeah, like, Coach Trey said, actually, it's not easy to play for him. It's not easy at all. But, like, he's definitely in your best interest, right? And he's definitely trying to make you better. So, even when he's yelling at you or you have to run for something you did, it's all learning, it's all learning. And so, I've been put in the fire so many times now, you learn. And, hopefully by next year I'm, a way better player. So, yeah.
I could tell it was hard because I saw you reflect. You were like, "It ain't easy." It ain't.
Not
I
easy.
could see you going back to that time,
Not
right?
at all.
Yeah, Coach. You got to share your diet because when you walked in, I know who you are. I've seen you, but I glanced. I thought you were a player, but then I saw, okay, So you got to share that later. But on a serious note, let's talk about practice, like the great Allen Iverson once said. Let's talk about practice, right? How is practice? Because when you have this much talent, this many athletes, a coach that gets after it and has expectations. I'm not talking about, what do y'all do through different drills. I'm talking about, do y'all push each other? Is it trash talk? Is it intensity? Even though y'all are brothers, I know how it is when you put them shoes on and you have to go. Y'all challenge each other. Is it personal where you like iron sharpens iron, or y'all just, oh, that's my guy, I'ma chill? Who's gonna speak first? I can see all y'all nodding. Go ahead.
Practice is the most competitive place you'll ever show up to. We yell at each other, curse each other out, pushing, shoving. This week we had to kick people out of practice because they weren't on the same level as us. So just know when you walk into that gym, go in there like it's an actual game. Don't go in there slacking, because our seniors, sophomores, everyone will hold you accountable. If you are lacking, it'll be known, it'll be seen. And for our coach, he holds us there. He'll put in an adjustment, he'll yell at us, but right after, once we do that, he'll come dap us up, let us know,
Good.
He's still our coach at the end of the day. It's not like he's our enemy. It's not that we're against him. We're working with him. We're right there with him. He's right there with us.
I think it starts with this guy right here. I think we wouldn't have any of the practices that we've ever had without him right here. In practice, he's the leader right here. He's the vocal heart of this team. I'm not gonna lie to you. He may not be the most skilled or whatever, but he for real, our practices would be dead quiet without him right here. I'm serious. Everyone on the team can vouch for it too. You can ask anyone. We wouldn't have any of the practices that we had without Mason.
So one thing that I noticed from last year was, especially after we lost coach, there wasn't really this passion for the game that we normally have. There wasn't really the intensity that we were looking for. So going into this year, knowing that I'm a senior, this is my last try, I'm going to give it everything I got. And that being said, if anyone else on my team isn't going to give me everything I got, then I don't want them there. And so I'll ask them just, hey, head out. We don't need you today. We'll see you tomorrow. Because I expect the best out of my players. I expect the best out of my coaching staff. And so holding each other accountable, like we talked about, but also just competing at the highest level. We know that we're brothers at the end of the day. We love each other, and all we're doing here is trying to push each other, make each other better. Understanding that at the end of the day, just you go dab each other up after it, and you just keep working. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And and I'm not gonna lie, I go off of him. Because in practices, and I'm not going to lie, every practice has not been the best. We're not a perfect team. We make mistakes. But, as loud as he is and as loud as he's vocal with everybody doing this and that, communicating, trash talking, I feed off of him and, try to set another example, even though he's a senior, trying to set an example as the point guard. So,
Well, Coach, it's very evident that the culture you've built and are continuing to build is working, and your players are very bought in. We just like to say I appreciate you guys taking the time on Saturday, especially after the game, to get over here and join us on the NSMT experience. So best of luck this season, and we'll have to catch one of your guys' games, hopefully against Hayfield.
Thank you. We appreciate you all for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Yeah, that was good. Hey,
We are now joined by the Freedom Woodbridge girls varsity basketball team. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Would you mind just introducing yourself and the players to your left and right?
Yes, thank you for having us. My name is Mia Lloyd, coach at Freedom High School in Woodbridge. Right now we have our senior, Ashley Albert, and then to my right side we got Lene Hamburg-Lackey, a junior guard.
Coach, talk about how the season's gone so far, and also highlight what you ladies have been focused on this preseason and offseason. It's different from back in the day where sports, there was a cutoff. Now everyone pretty much goes year-round. They have an off-season program. Some play fall league or choose summer league, or in some regions you can do both. Talk about what your team has done so far.
Okay, so right now we're in a rebuild stage. I call it the new era. Last year was my first year at Freedom, so I came with 8 seniors. Basically like a old foundation, but made it something that we can do. Did pretty well. So going into the new year, we lost 8 seniors, and some players had left. So this is a new program. Right here is the only 2 people that came back for this year. So we weren't able to do really much of workouts. No summer workouts, no summer leagues. So coming into the season, it was very rough because there was maybe 2 people at workouts, maybe 1, if that. Right now, we're just focusing on our identity and skill development and what is the new era.
Of course. For the players, you 2 being the only 2 returners, how's it been kind of, not necessarily mentoring, but you are the only 2 returners. You brought in a completely new team. What's it been like kind of embracing that leadership role for those who weren't on the team before?
For me, it kind of felt something familiar because I'm used to having a leadership role in school and extracurricular activities. But, you're making new friends as well as, teaching people, new skills and stuff like that, and something that you're already familiar with. So it feels good in a sense, but also it's just like, it's a new team.
Yeah,
so.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Piggybacking off of Ashley, sometimes it's difficult because we got new people that never played before, and also I'm used to the leadership role as well. Been captain for some other teams myself, and been in this whole basketball thing for my whole life, and it's really nice meeting new people and playing with them and getting to know everybody, and yeah.
Yeah, of course. I know you mentioned you call it a new era, but what gives you confidence about this new group that you guys can return to regional play and play basketball into late February, March?
What gives me confidence is just the effort they give in each game. Like they both said, both teams are unskilled with low IQ, and them coming every day and getting beat our first 2 games by a lot, and no one gave up. That was a sign that we'll be okay. In the next 2 years, we'll be okay. Right now, our point guards are 2 freshmen. 2 freshmen just came from middle school. One's a lefty, one's a righty. So, one's going left, one's going right. They're just getting them catching up to the speed, learning how to, communicate properly. But just seeing them play, high-level competition like we played Bishop O'Connell. We got beat very bad, but no one gave up. That was the goal. I tell them every time, like, each game isn't about a win and loss. It's about, are we going to get better? I always tell them, beginning of the season, I want to check out if you are going to give me effort, physicality, and hustle. If we can do those 3 things, we can win some games. So just seeing that between our freshmen, our sophomores, even with our JV program, we got an 8th grader on there too, and she's leading that JV program as an 8th grader. That shows me in the next 2 years we should be pretty solid.
Absolutely. I forgot to introduce myself. Dwight Vick with Victory Life. To the players, when you hear your coach say rebuild, when she said this is a rebuild and we're creating a new expectation, in your own words, what does that mean to you?
When my coach says rebuild, I'm thinking like we are regrowing a new team, a new, something new. And to me, I'm expecting something new too, even though I'm used to it. it's new for me as well. I had to get used to everybody that is new on the team. So, yeah, that's basically what it means to me, at least.
Absolutely.
When I hear my coach say rebuild, I think of new connections, new skills, new people, and things from past years not being the same, but a good difference and creating something really good in the future.
Yeah, with the rebuild with them two, just to give y'all a quick background, Ashley, she came last year from a different school, came into the role as a forward. She didn't get as much playing time, but she was that player that's going to give you 100% effort on both sides of the floor. If we needed someone to lock someone up, I'm calling her in the game. If I need a rebound, I'm calling her in the game. Lene, same effort, but she played JV. She was their leader, but she also practiced with varsity. Now, them two, both of them have to step up and be in complete different roles. Last year, we had 8 seniors. 1 was player of the year, and 4 of them went on to college. The rest are, in college not playing basketball, but the other 4 are. So it's a huge difference between having 2 Division II players, 2 girls went JUCO, leading that team and playing behind them, than actually, now this is me. I'm doing it.
And Coach, I'm familiar with Freedom just from the work I do in the community, and also the Overton brothers are friends of mine. So I remember years ago when Daryl first got there, it was a similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew anything about Freedom football. They were hanging on by a thread, and he won championships and went to 3 state championships and won 2. But he was a man in the community. I mean, he did a lot of stuff, with youth sports. He went, Potomac Mills. He was always out somewhere fundraising, car washing. How do you connect with the community so people know who you are in that Route 1 corridor?
So I'm a trainer. I'm a basketball trainer and an AAU coach. So most of the kids or girls in the Northern Virginia area I have trained
What
before.
AAU program?
Dreamers Elite. It's our second year. So most of the kids in the area, I probably trained at least 1 player on their team in Northern Virginia. If not, I coach them. So, but I tend to, throw clinics, camps frequently, train twice a week. Big on the community, going to different schools and stuff like that, doing cleanups and stuff I did in the past. I first was at Woodbridge High School for 4 years. Then last year was my first year at Freedom. So the goal is, to keep building. After our season last year, me and my assistant coach, we went to every middle school game. Me and him was at every middle school game, talking to the 6th, 7th graders, talking to them about AAU, high school, what's their plans. And that's how I created my 6th and 7th grade AAU team, just based off us going out there. And I want to say 3 of them are on our JV team right now. Well, 1's on varsity and 2's on JV that we met. And then the rest are either playing JV as an 8th grader or made their varsity team.
That is great. That is forming that foundation for, the players to develop in Freedom Woodbridge is very important. You said last year was your first year. You had the 8 seniors with Freedom Woodbridge, and then this year, the new era. Have you taken any kind of different approach to this season, knowing that you did graduate 8 seniors, one of them being Player of the Year? You knew the season, I'm sure, was going to look differently, but did that impact your approach as a coach at all?
I knew this season was going to be differently. It's actually better because I didn't think we would be able to field 2 teams without basically a whole varsity team leaving. So with us being able to have 10 players on varsity, 10 on JV, that was a blessing in disguise. And like I said, I have a new coaching staff who's there every day, development, talking to the girls. I wouldn't say I took a new approach. I think I took a softer approach because we do have a lot of younger kids. So last year, I felt like I was more like a college coach. This year, I feel like I'm more like a high school coach. I still, try to prepare them, but it's a little bit different. Most of them are freshmen and sophomores, so I'm still molding them. Last year, like I said, we had 8 seniors, so I'm preparing them, teaching them like it's a college practice. This year, I feel like I'm just taking a little bit softer approach, still learning them, and it's just gonna be a new thing for me. This is my first year ever having a team to rebuild. Most of the time, it's skill development, IQ, with a couple leaders that know how to play. This year, it's all skill development, building IQ, it's everything. But that's the beauty of coaching. If that's going to show if I'm a good coach or not.
Yeah, no, of course. And this is for the players. What do you feel like individually, and I understand with the injury, it's tough right now, but it's not season ending, right?
It might be. Yeah, we don't know yet. So right now she's out for a month until her MRI in January, but it might be. She's a junior,
Okay.
but it might be.
Okay, so again, I guess you're playing. Where do you feel like you most contribute to this team, and where do you feel like you can be the biggest successor to the 9th graders or 10th graders that are younger?
Can you elaborate on that?
Like, where do you feel like you're?
Well, how do you help the team?
How do you impact the team? Like, how do you feel you most impact the team? Your strongest aspect of the game?
I guess what I say I'm really good at is encouraging others. I guess being very much vocal. I think that's what I do best. But I try to show like a great example on defense and offense. Trying my best to make all my layups. Try my best to close out, do everything the coach tell me to do. But yeah, I just try to lead by example and be that role model, and show everybody, hey, like, you could do it too. But yeah.
No, of course. And then, so I know you're not playing, or at least you don't know you're playing until January. But how important is it for you to still be involved on the team? Physically you might not be able to help out on the court, but you can still mentally prepare yourself and just kind of now step into that mentor semi-coach role, knowing that you can't physically go out there and contribute.
My role of stepping in while being injured is like letting my players know that even though you are injured and sitting on the sideline, still help and contribute and be there, and to know the plays and know what to do and still give in your effort and try to hurry up and recover in the safest way possible. And just also, if anybody needs help with anything, still help on the sideline, and if they have any questions, answer those questions for them any way possible if they don't know how to ask their coaches or anybody else.
Yeah, these two are the loudest people on the court. Loudest. And these two are the ones who's going to give it their all on defense. She got hurt diving for a ball. And she got hurt in the summer diving for a ball. So these two are the ones who's going to get on the floor, get a rebound, play defense. So I'm hoping, by having her on the bench, it will help, players and have, like she said, ask questions, her still being loud on defense, hopefully that energy, will push on to the younger kids, and her staying on the floor and continue. She's a leader. She's a workhorse. Last year she got a workhorse award. She's a workhorse. She's going to, if I say run 10 times, she's going to run 10 times. If I say do it again, she's going to do it again.
No doubt.
And always the first.
I want to ask a fun question. I know I'm a former athlete, and I feel like when you play sports, whether it's women's sports or men's sports, especially in today's game with so much social media, so much access, there's pressure. Like everybody's watching you, even people that can't do it. There's all these Barstool accounts, everybody's yapping about this, that, whatever, and everybody's a podcaster. There's a lot more pressure for y'all, regardless of what the expectations is. People show up either to support you or to hate. What do y'all do to enjoy each other as far as connect off the court? Is it TikToking? Is it like going to like Wingstop? I mean, what are y'all doing? Because I think that's and it's funny, but I'm serious. It's important to make sure you connect, because if I knew about a time machine right now, point it to me. I want to go back just to enjoy life again. I'm enjoying life, but when you're younger, it's different. How are you enjoying your youth, and also both of y'all, the sisterhood that comes with playing on the team?
For example, when it comes to playing with Lene, I see her as like a younger sibling, but she's still my sister though.
No doubt.
I look after her at school, we still talk, and she sends me TikToks and stuff like that. We just relate, just normal human beings, don't really talk about basketball stuff outside of basketball. Yeah. But just as a normal teenager, I just vibe. Anything that comes my way, I just try to enjoy it to the best of my ability, as I also have 3 siblings. I have 3 sisters.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah,
You
so
got a
I'm
team at home.
right. So I'm used to the athleticism because they're all athletes, and I'm
Oh.
very used to having that sisterhood and that bond and just being me. So,
Nice.
Yeah. Mhm.
Same thing with Ashley. I think of her as an older sister on and off the court, and I like how we could talk basketball and also talk about other things, like as me as well. I'm an older sister and like one of the oldest people in our family, out of cousins and everything. So just it's very nice just being able to be in a comfortable sisterhood. And we do go out to eat. Coach Mia is always planning family stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Like, she's always planning like different tournaments. Like, we go to like Maryland and out of state and all that. And then
Nice.
just random things. Like, she's already trying to do like some team stuff, like with all the different teams that she does. So, and she always tries to reconnect with other people as well. So it's really nice.
Coach is busy.
Definitely do
I
be.
mean, I try to like. I went to Forest Park. I'm a Forest Park graduate. I got
You there with all those great teams?
So I was with Rebecca Tillett.
Okay.
I was my freshman year. I was on varsity. I was with Brianna Mason, Lexi Carpenter, Amber Mixon, that group.
Yeah.
So like, how I coach is how I was coached. So and it was always family. Like that's what she taught me. She's D1. She's a D1 coach now. That's what she taught me, family. So I make sure it's a family. Like, we had our dance battle before our game.
That too. We just had one
Nothing
on
like a
Thursday.
dance
We had a dance battle. Like, it's varsity versus JV. Varsity won, of course. But of course. But it's like little things like that. You know, we going on college tours, doing, taking them to UMD, taking them to George Mason, just making sure, like, you know, the only way you're going to fight for each other on the court is, you know, once you get to know someone, that's your sister. Like, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, no doubt.
Give her the workhorse award.
Hey, yeah, exactly. This is my last question. Coach is very experienced. She's been in a lot of places. Prince William, and she's AAU, and I was serious when I said she's busy. But how so far? I know it's a young season, and there's a rebuild, but at the same time, there's a culture being established as we speak, even right now. Starting with you, and then you can speak. How is she impacting you? Because it's not just about basketball, but how is she impacting you for the game of life?
Okay. Coming in from a private school, I came from St. John Paul the Great Catholic High School, and I played on that team. The coaches, they were great. And coming from private school to public school, after not being in the public school system for years, and Coach Mia had, you know, coached me, I honestly felt like I see her, she's young, so I honestly see her as like a big sister to me, because it's like she has like that vibe to her. She's an amazing coach, and she makes me like work hard in order to get what I want. And honestly, it's helped me so much. It helped me grow. She would always encourage me, like, I can do it as long as I work hard for it, as long as I hustle for it. And it honestly prepares me for life, because you can't just, you know, sit back, lay back, and, you know, get all the money in the world. That's not how it works. You have to work hard in order to get what you want. And definitely that's how I'm gonna approach life as I'm a senior now. So yeah, basically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Being under Coach Mia's players and all that, it was definitely a big difference, because I came really from nowhere, and they didn't really have basketball and all that. And being under Coach Mia, she taught me that you have to work hard and really hard to get where you want and what you want. And you can't just sit around and do nothing. Like, you actually have to be in the gym and work 24/7 all day and every day. And I'm one of her training students that goes to her facility when I can. And it's really nice, and she has really changed my perspective. And I haven't been under a tough coaching staff ever, and so it's really nice to be working under Coach Mia.
That's great. That's great. I know the season's only 2 games in, but looking at your schedule, are there any games and I know Vic mentioned with social media and Barstool, and all the accounts. Are there any games that you have, quote unquote, circled on you? Everyone's laughing. Give me a smile.
We was just talking about it.
Let's talk about this.
Well,
Yeah.
what's the answer, I guess? What game are you guys looking forward to?
It's probably going to be the Potomac game.
Yeah.
So last year, we were first in the district, and but they had beat us in a district actual championship. They had beat us at home.
Yeah.
We went over there, beat them last second shot by one of our seniors, Lonnie. She's in D2 right now, Chowin. Last second shot, we had one. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be that. It's going to be that game on the 19th.
Awesome. All right. Well, I know where I'll be on the 19th. Potomac and Freedom. Coach, players, we greatly appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed the NSMT experience. Best of luck the rest of the season. Wish you a speedy recovery and hope to see you out there. But again, thank you so much for taking your time on the Saturday and sitting down with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.